I need to show you a video of me doing stand-up badly because you showed one last time. And 3,
I tried to, but I was just so talented.
I know you tried to.
Just like intangible red flag territory. Like he's not saying anything specific,
interesting.
But like just as he's talking, you're like, do not be in a room alone with this man.
Yeah, 100%.
So we can all love each other. No.
All right, great. Okay, great. This is great. What about him is an intangible red flag? Is it a way he appears, way he talks, hand gestures?
Do you know what the word intangible means?
All right, I'm gonna go have a piss.
Ashley, you're in charge.
I'm in charge. Bitches.
I went down on a juicy boozy, and
gotta fart, and this chair's gonna make it reverberate. Hey, wait!
John.
Hey!
Oh no! Everybody else,
Hey!
What's going on? I'm just waiting for music. I thought you were getting music. Oh, I thought you were just getting
how
music.
my penis gets born.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Here's a shed.
The ice cream cones came with a little metal packet that is just full of sugar. It's just full of sugar to be poured into the cones.
I got what has the Japanese not gotten a hold of, perfected, and then when everyone was like, "You did it," they went, "And now we'll begin." And you're like, "No! You fixed it. It was fixed. Do not break it." They're like, no. We got to break this.
I still have some more questions.
Go ahead.
John Hastings is on American Got Talent for 5 minutes, and now he's got houses in L.A. and London.
That's right.
Yeah.
You kept a house in London?
Yeah, I've kept a house in London.
Update: not sugar.
There's no fluid tasting enough to warrant sucking it out of him. No, but it was. Did he do it when he was then in the band when they were the 4 Bee Gees that brief time before then his heart exploded?
Wow.
I'm not saying anything that didn't happen. That is what happened to him.
I'm a predator.
And it was going awesome. And we even started having drinks at a bar, and we each had girlfriends with us, whatever. We're having a great time until I got comfortable enough to go, hey, we share a birthday,
As someone who's been eternally single.
Go ahead. Is it your fault? Yes. No, sorry.
Stop tweeting after your dates, Ashley. Stop tweeting after your dates.
Oh, bad news, Paul. You're getting a Batman bed.
This is not bad news. I am so pleased.
Support them.
But you know what's more important than helping people's mental health?
Fuck you, John.
I'm just saying. Tom, you're a comedy fan.
Here's what happened. So I came up after she finished a couple times.
How did you
I'm not one's not enough.
What
you go for 2. That's how you start it out.
Smoother crunches.
And then Jesus, boom. And so so when I emerged, I went to kiss her, and she just grabbed my face and she sucked it all out of my beard.
So hurtful.
That's a literary reference. Oh no, I gotta.
Hey, he can't tie me up. Now I'm the only one here. Books, pages. Right. Verb, noun, adjective. Nice. Someone give me that.
I'm very prone to bullying.
No, you're talking about Andy Gibb.
I am talking about Andy Gibb. Pardon me.
Get your Gibbs straight if you want to come at me, bro.
Sorry.
Those nice bearded men and their Aryan friends seem like they're doing very different shows.
Marylane's got pink eye. She touched her in hole.
I tried to. It crawled away too quickly.
It's difficult with tea. Sometimes you try and tune it and you get Assam.
I'm officially declaring it. Jordan is the Governor General of the stream.
God damn it. Guys, I took Ritalin today. I can only focus on one thing at a time.
What is happening right now?
Canadians are coming.
Chris, John, and Irish Ashley combine to make the ultimate team, better than any wet dream. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream. John's the CEO and Boomer. Ashley's the real leader. Chris brings the vibes and juices as our enjoyment increases. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream.
Yay! I'm so happy. Chris is muted. Chris is muted. It's the new year. Yes.
I've coined this year Troggy 2.
Troggy 2. Welcome to Troggy 2, folks. Hopefully it'll be better than Troggy 1.
Damn right. Sequels are always better. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm good. I feel really giddy for this show. I don't know why.
Great. You're back. We're happy.
I'm back.
All is well.
How are you, Chris?
I'm cool. I'm into my second room in the hostel, and I'm trying to feel like I'm trying to make it homey. So like I went out and I did grocery shopping today, and I've got my stuff sort of organized. There's a lot more space in this one than the one I did the New Year's Eve show on.
Okay, so you're not up against a door on a fridge?
No, I'm on a table next to a fridge, next to a door. So
that is
good.
Luxury, my
and
friend.
the door, it's not like the door's right there. Like that's a few feet. There's floor there.
There's space there. You can open that door.
There. I could open that door, but then it would open up the hostel hallway, and then I'd get COVID. It's a whole thing.
Dear.
Stay locked down. Right now, there's no one. There's a room on that wall, and there's a room on that wall, and there's a street right there. So one of these days, it's gonna get real fucking loud in here. It's not today, but at some point in the month, there's gonna be some Spanish students that are gonna have a guitar. And it's going to be loud as shit, and there's going to be nothing I can do about it. But I'm kind of excited.
Maybe we can get them on.
Yes.
I feel like that would be fun. Hello, everyone that's in the chat. We have loads of people who've come right back in.
What's up?
And loads of people who joined us as well for the New Year's Eve stream. That was amazing, even though we only give you like 5 hours notice. Yeah, that was great. So welcome in, everyone. How's your year been so far?
That's a general question, by the way. We'll ask each other, but answer in the chat because we want to know about you guys too.
I want to know how you're doing as well.
Mine's been low key. I watched some Hobbit movies, and I did some writing. I bought a calendar for the first time in years.
Ooh, what are you going to use that for?
Just because I know that like I never check my calendar on my phone except for gigs. So if I put in things that I'm supposed to do that day, I just won't look at it. So it's like physical. It's on my wall. I'm going to look at it. So I'm going to.
Are you going to do a bullet journal as well?
No, I'll never ever. I tried that once, but like a DIY one because I wanted to see if I could just stick to it without spending money on the actual journal. And I made it not even a day. I didn't even fill out all my goals.
I wonder if it only works when you spend money on the journal.
That's never worked for me. I've spent a lot of money on things that I subsequently never used. It's not impetus for me. I don't care. It's that
what is the most frivolous purchase, like most amount of money, least amount of use, you think you've ever made?
Ooh, fuck, there's a lot of those.
Yes,
there's like
I remember
two skateboards.
Oh yes, okay,
definitely 2 skateboards. One that I bought in Cork.
Okay,
and I remember I took
were
it
they
to
like themed skateboards or something?
No, just skateboard. I just decided, hey, I want to skate again. I haven't done this since I was 15, and I wasn't good at it then. So why not start it over? And I got got one in Cork. There's a little skate park in Cork that's like indoors. I don't know if you know it. Right on the river there. It's like tucked away in a warehouse. And
yes, yeah, I know the one.
It's very cool. So I went because skateboarding on the streets in Cork is
the same place as the Quasar.
Impossible. I don't know. It's been a long time.
It's near the Quasar, I think.
That sounds possible. But so it was so I went in there with my board ready to go, and I stood at the top of the ramp, and I must have stood there for 7 minutes just looking at it. And I could tell that like there was a sense of mystique that was building up around me because other skaters were like looking at me being like, what is this guy doing? Because I wasn't afraid. I was just drinking. I was like looking at it and trying to decide what I was going to do. And then at the last minute, absolutely bottled it and just walked out and left.
That's so good.
Every now and then I think of the kids that were there and I wonder if they talk about me, like, who was that guy? Like, what happened? He must have been traumatized. He drank it and
That's
was
so
like,
great.
no.
That is excellent. I remember during Edinburgh Fringe 2019, a friend of mine spent the whole month walking past this shop that had like skateboards that you look at rather than use, you know?
Yeah.
And it was this skateboard that had Alan Partridge on it.
Okay.
And the whole month he said, I'm going to buy that skateboard. I'm going to buy that skateboard. And then he bought it at the very end of the month and brought it home. And I was like, do you even skateboard? And he's like, no. And I was like, do you intend on skateboarding? He was like, no.
Does he at least hang it up on his wall? Is it like
I think it's hung
skateboard
up
art?
on his wall. It
'Cause
must
people
be
do
hung up
that.
on his wall. Yeah. That person was a dickhead and I don't talk to them anymore. So
private chat.
You don't know them, but I've
Oh, okay.
mentioned them before.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then.
But
Actually, you know what? Just for continuity within the world of Ashley, put the name in just so that I know.
I'm putting my name in just so you
Okay,
know,
good,
just so you can keep up with anything and everything this person does.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Noted. Mental note.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a fun purchase. I mean, I bought my roller skates last year and I really did think this is going to be one of those purchases that I'm never going to use. However, I use them a fair bit.
Yeah, you were all in there for a while.
Pretty happy with how much I used them during the year, considering everything else that was going on for me and considering how nervous I was on them. Like I was shitting myself every single time I used them. And then I hurt my foot.
What a time to come in. What a time to come in. That's what I
Oh,
wanna
not
be in
literal.
right there.
Not literal.
Not literal.
Oh, damn it. Well, goodbye.
I was just scared. That's all it is. So we're talking about like skateboards or roller skates.
Just things that you spent money on that you never used. So I bought two
What's the
separate
most frivolous
skateboards over the
purchase?
years.
Yeah.
Oh, see.
Most
I'm
amount
not
of money,
fun for
least
these
amount of use.
I'm not fun for these conversations because I have a harmonica and I will use it.
Oh, that's great. That's so great.
Wait a minute. The Ace Ventura coming in with Uganda?
Commenting with his ass cheeks, no doubt.
Oh, I hope so. 1 second.
So Ashley, how much did you use your roller skates? Because I remember you being like into it and thinking like Ashley's a roller girl now, and that's just true forever. And then you never talked about it again.
I do not remember you getting roller skates. I
got them
that's
before
real.
this. I got them like at Christmas last year, 2020 Christmas. And so I didn't use them immediately when I got back to Edinburgh because it was snowing. Which I'm just like, I don't have a death wish. John would probably go out on things in the snow. I would not.
He'd put snow tires on them though. But
That's Canadian. This is a Canadian thing because here's the thing with Canadians is that if it's snowing, we just for no reason are like, no, it's not same as the summer, and you're just like, no, it's not. It's not the same. And you're like, yeah,
it's very long. You just have to suck it up.
Yep, same as the summer.
Oh, wrong one. King Geo coming in. Was it more than 3 times? Did you use
So
them more than 3
your
times?
wife used her. Yes, it was more than 3 times. So I went to the paid. I went to the pay-in ring place in Edinburgh, out in Leith. There's a roller place. And I went there, I'd say about 3, maybe 4 times with a friend. And then I went outside in them maybe about the same amount of times. And I've gone to the skate park in Glasgow once or twice. Once. And then I hurt my foot and I couldn't do it.
Right.
So I haven't done it since I've hurt my foot, but that's one of the first things I'm going to do again this year is when it's dry, I will go out and skate.
Did I tell you about the roller skaters at Finsbury Park?
No.
There were girls out there that were learning how to roller skate, and it was because there's like
what?
So there's basketball courts, and then there's sort of like handball courts, and then there's just sort of cement surrounded by chain link fence to do with as you please. And there were 2 of those, and there were girls in both. But my favorite part is every time I went, racially segregated.
Ooh.
Every single time. White girls in one, black girls in another. Don't think it was pre-discussed. It would just happen every single time. Super weird. John, yeah, you have a question?
Was it 2 different courses? So was there like a white class and a black class?
Not classes. Not classes. Just women.
people meeting up.
Just
It's
trial
like,
and error.
I have a friend who trained to be a kindergarten teacher, and I was like, "What's the weirdest thing you learned?" And he went, "Children at 4 years old naturally segregate themselves via race." And I was like, "What are you talking
Well,
about?"
because you're
Like,
gonna go towards what you
What you
are more,
recognize and
what
you're-
you recognize, what you're more familiar with.
exactly. You're more familiar, and therefore are not at. Exactly. Ashley believes that white supremacy is the way forward, and I go differently.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Yeah, that's why John
Actually,
and I hang
if it-
out. And
Actually,
we
if it
include
turned
Ashley.
out you were a white supremacist this whole time, that would be almost as shocking as those Christmas revelations being fake. Also, I've thought about it. I think they were all real, and this is a double-blind prank. I think that your whole family does sweep the whole house, which is, by the way, I still think about that one. I'm like, that
was great. Felt
if
real.
That's
a
the one
lie-
that got you.
Felt real.
If that's because that's too real. If that's
Yeah.
a lie, you're capable of murder. You're capable of full murder. Throw the body down a mine shaft. Yeah.
I don't think that I don't know how to form this sentence. I believe that I'm capable of murder.
Yeah. Oh,
I got really tangled up in double negatives there.
I can see you
That's how murder
smiling
happens
during
sometimes.
it. I can
Yeah.
see, I don't even see like real regret. I see you doing that thing where like you kill the person, you're amped, and then there's that moment where it's like it's done and you have to
I
take
agree
it
that
in and you're
there's no
like,
taking it
should
in.
I feel
Yeah,
should I
this
feel
is
worse
exactly
about
right.
this?
I completely agree.
Well,
with you.
because
For no other reason that actually I've seen you because we have to do business. This is hilariously a business, and we've had a couple of like various situations with decisions, and the way you approach any situation is just forward with aggression. Like there's no. Well, it's just this way. We go this way. It's just like okay, all right.
I'm gonna check in on the chat real quick. Oh, sorry, we're talking about murder.
Yeah,
I thought that was
no,
talk
that's
about your
okay.
murder.
Check in on the chat, and then we'll murder them. No, we'll
right.
talk.
Yeah.
I just wanted because we asked everyone how their year was, and then we didn't
Yes,
check,
we
so
didn't
got
actually go and look at your answers, and I did
Um,
read them though. I did read them.
Andy.
Lego.
I am getting. I'm guessing that means I'm getting a Lego set.
I want more
going
Lego in my
on a
life.
Lego set? It's fucking great. Lego's amazing. King Geo got his boosters. Excellent.
Yes.
LMA went skiing
I'm getting
at
mine in
City
3
Hall.
days.
What city would that be in? Guesses. What city hall has ice skating?
I mean,
Manchester?
Is it Manchester? I mean, Chris, you have to figure out. You have to remember who that person may or may not be.
Totally forgot. Totally forgot. Yeah. Gotcha.
So we're not going to say where the city hall was.
Not Manchester.
Not Manchester.
What do we got? I drank too much
It's Brighton.
wine, ate too much
Anyway.
shit. So feeling guilty about it. Steve
That's what you're
Mooney.
supposed to do. This is the first
That
person
is
I know who
peak
had a
January.
proper holiday.
That is January done right.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
It's exactly what
took,
everyone needs.
I took a healthy shit today. That's what we were supposed to do in early January. It's supposed to come out like the explosion that hit Beirut. You know that one that just took out the entire city, and they're like, "Fun is over.
Let's just
Lebanon
say
is dead."
I've been wiping red for 2 weeks.
Oh.
And we're back, baby.
Welcome
We're
back,
back.
everyone. Where's Silk?
And I'm not on my period, to be clear.
Yeah, you're in your butt period.
Yeah, that's
Your
damn.
butt-
Wiping red is
Period.
maybe the worst thing I've ever said.
Oh yeah. That sounds like something you threaten a castle you're putting under siege. And you and your men will be wiping red forever.
I'm gonna start using it if dudes square up to me in bars.
Oh yeah, but I don't think
wiping
you should
red
be.
for weeks. You
No.
bitch.
I don't think you should be using that as a threat. It should be a description. We can fight, but you should know I've been wiping red for weeks. Never mind. That's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought.
All right, back to
I
the
love it.
year.
I might call my
Kimmers.
friend show that.
Wiping red. Oh my god. Kimmer says, "Great news! I won my disability benefits tribunal. That's fantastic! Congratulations! I start my new
That's
job
amazing.
in Feb. My brother made it home for Christmas. Going 2022 so much better. Fuck yeah! Way to go, Kimmers! That's awesome.
That's
I
great.
mean, and a tribunal in a time of COVID, because you can get one. Are judges always involved in a tribunal? I don't know if a tribunal is a thing like it has to be judges or it can just be 3 people making a decision.
I don't know. I don't even know if try is necessary because I thought 3 as well, and I'm not sure that it's tied down to 3. I think that's just.
Let's get in. I would like to get into the
language.
minutia of tribunals right now, please, because if that's true, we're a tribunal. Welcome everyone to our daily tribunal.
We're here to judge.
I'm not actually sure I fully understand what a tribunal is.
You and me both, sister. Got to tell you.
It's like I know what it
panel.
is, but I don't.
It's a panel that sits in judgment. It's
But again, I come back to this. Do they have to be like professional judges? Like I judge in like I am Olympic level
Oh,
judge.
hang on. Is it just a collective noun for Tories?
Well, I think you can have them like HR tribunals. Like you can
Yeah,
have
HR.
your I don't think it
Yeah.
has to be a legal one.
I am very impressed that we're discussing this and not doing what we all don't do it, Chris. Don't Google it. We're gonna figure this out.
Oh, that's not what I was about to do. I'm just
Oh,
making
good.
sure that there are no more New Year's things while we discuss tribunals.
Okay. So I think that it's I spent £100 on a 3D pen when everyone was mad on 3D printers.
Love
I've
it.
Never used it.
That's
Absolutely love
excellent.
it. I
That
love
is
that.
excellent.
What
What's
a
a
great
3D
waste of money.
pen?
A
What's a
3D
3D
pen
Where
is a
you
3D
can, like,
printer that takes
draw.
forever.
But you could draw into the air. Obviously,
What?
you have to kind of start on the ground, but you can
Oh,
like,
really? Is that how?
draw up.
You know how fucking stupid I am? I thought that it was like a pen that puts out the 3D printing stuff, but you
No.
just sort of do every layer just by hand, like an
Well,
analog.
that's
3D
So
pretty
it's
much
a
it, yeah.
magic wand. You thought a magic wand cost
Yeah.
£100? I'll make a table.
It's an incredible piece of that's what but like you have to do it millions of times.
Chris, if that technology exists, don't you think you would be aware of it? You wouldn't like.
Well,
You
3D
would see-
printing is real.
Yeah, but if those existed, homeless people would steal them and build houses I would have fucked some shit up. I would have built a wall around me when I was in the UK and wouldn't have gotten COVID.
Shut the fuck up. Was I right?
No,
You
you were
were
not
right.
right. You were not right.
But I
Meatballs
was also
saying I was
right.
Yes,
We were
Meatballs is
saying the
I was
same
right.
thing in different ways.
Oh, I thought yours was like you sketch like the plan of it, like the blueprint of it, and then that's what. But like you could draw it in 3D and then
No.
it scans that. That's what I thought you meant.
No,
I'm
I was
misunderstanding
saying
things
that you
left
can
and right
like
today.
it like exude it draws into the air, but it's plasticky.
Absolutely
know.
wild. Absolutely wild.
I'm violating my Google rule because I don't know
Already,
what a 3D
just
pen
like that.
Because I literally am like, that's a magic wand. What is this drawing?
Have you got a video for it?
Yeah, I'm bringing this up. It looks
Yes, Meatballs sold them. They're shit.
Dope.
Yeah,
Can you
I
use the pen to draw another pen and return the original pen for profit?
fucking hilarious.
Joe Trope.
Yes.
Genius as always. I bought 10-pin bowling shoes from a charity shop at Fringe 2015. Why? Also, what's the difference between 10 and 5-pin bowling shoes?
It's also because the Fringe is a place where you buy weird ass shit. The amount of hoodies I've bought in the Fringe at a charity shop
You've
for like
bought
5
them?
or 6. Boughten? Yes, that's how we say it in Canada. Make fun of my nation again, and you'll find yourself removed from the stream. You xenophobic.
I'm Canadian.
Irishman.
That's not what we say. We say bought. We say bought.
No, we
John's
bought
bad
it.
at speaking.
I
John's
haven't slept for more than 5 hours in like a week. Like, we're all just lucky I'm not just doing this. Well, how about fuck you?
I was really expecting a Zig Heil there. That's what.
You don't do those on video, Christopher.
Well, you're so tired. That's why we're lucky you're not doing it.
So this is a video that shows a 3D pen.
Are these the incredible things you can do? Because these are not incredible.
5-minute crafts.
I already fucking hate
Diamond.
this video.
Yeah, Sixers.
Oh, I've seen this. I've actually seen
What
this
is this?
exact video.
What is this?
I get
What
such
are
a
they
kick
doing?
out of watching these 5-minute crafts.
Oh,
They
she painted
are
it. I thought she just wiped it off.
ridiculous.
Oh, okay. So was that fixing a hole?
Yeah, that fixed a hole.
Yeah. But also, there's so many better ways to fix a hole.
Also,
Yeah.
like, you're ruining this shirt with a 3D M on it. Like, this is awful.
That looks awful.
So bad.
Yeah.
I fucking love these 5-minute craft videos. They're so bad.
There's something called Crafty Panda that's on Facebook that literally is like, hey, do you want to see how to make your own broadsword with household materials? By the way, your
What
house
is
has...
this? What is happening?
It's
That's
just
the
made that
stupidest
iPhone.
thing I've ever seen.
I'm really enjoying how upset Ashley is about this because I feel like this is
So
an affront.
stupid.
What I like about it is I feel that you're affronted as someone who likes crafts. You're like, how dare you come into my
Yes.
house, bitch? Yes, I knew
I'm
it.
so affronted by this. What the fuck? Get out! Get out! What is that? As if that's
Why?
how you paint
You
shit.
just ruined your car. What are you doing? Why are you walling in this creature into a brick?
Why are you putting a? Is that a cat or a pig?
Oh my god, they just put it in prison.
Also, why?
I don't understand this at all.
I gotta make this so clear, by the way. I forgot how much more enjoyable this stream is to do in the afternoon than
Yeah,
at
it's great,
10 o'clock
right?
at night after a gig.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I'm like, why do I not feel existential dread and sadness? And I was like, oh, because I'm not brutally exhausted. Actually, I don't know how you do this. This is the worst product I've ever seen.
Oh my
And-
god.
Oh my! You're gonna
Yes,
make
Meatballs,
the whole
how did you
heel.
sell this?
They're gonna
Yeah,
make the whole heel.
No, you're not. Yeah, and then you're gonna break your neck 4 minutes into walking.
That is
with
not
this
strong enough.
Oh,
No,
you got
it
to show
isn't.
us
No,
someone walking
go
in
fu-
it.
go
You
fuck
better,
yourself.
Better show me
Shut
something.
the
Oh,
fuck up.
They bent.
Go.
Did you see it already giving though? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And like they were not putting their full weight on the heel.
No, that was all.
20 minutes in, and it's already madness.
What the fuck is going on? Why are you building a tiny
Who is
bridge?
this bridge for?
What is
Uh,
that?
Coming in from Ben Hall. Can I use these to make tequila bottles? Ben,
Oh,
that
Ben,
is
good
a.
to see you, buddy.
buddy,
No, that's
what a
that. What?
Did you just
Oh
put that in
my
her head?
God.
That woman died. That woman's dead.
Wait, are they covering this so that they can paint it? Because they could just paint it.
Yeah.
They literally could just paint it.
This is so. This reminds me
Oh,
of one
no,
of my
wait.
favorite. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
No,
fuck you.
no, get the
Wow.
fuck out.
Also,
That looks
That's,
horrific.
that's also not how painting works.
No. What's happening?
Why?
Can we ban 5-minute craft videos in
Ashley, how
2022?
how many subs for you to wear your hair like that?
Yeah.
So many subs.
More than 5?
But that weirdly was the one that made the most sense. You're putting a new prong on a fork?
Also, you're putting a new prawn on a wooden takeaway container
wooden
fork.
disposable fork.
Is
Love
5
that.
Minute Craft showing us how we're going to live when the climate really collapses and we can no longer make anything? 'Cause
No,
that's what
I am
this
not
feels
putting my
like.
body weight on this. No. No, no.
Oh
No.
my goodness!
but-
Oh my goodness!
No way! No, lies.
All of
There's
her
a lot
weight
of
was
core
way
strength
forward.
in that. That woman has so much core strength.
No, that woman fell through that chair and had her spine snapped.
But she had to have so much core strength to sit on it for that 5-second video. What is happening?
If they make a shoe,
They're making a shoe.
I'm using the N-word. That's how angry I am now. I'm calling this video the N-word. That's how angry I am.
This is horrific. No, they're awful too. Also, that's not a bottom of a shoe. That's an insole.
Yeah. Some
Get out.
really great. Some really great. Fuck you. No.
Oh no! If this works, I'm impressed. No, I like that one. That's the only one
No,
that I'm
but
like.
that
You know
didn't
what?
actually work.
I
They
like.
faked
I like
that.
that a lot. I like that a lot.
They're somehow shitter than Crocs. Very true. Steve Mooney, I'm just so angry right now. Joatrope. Hey, can I borrow your pen to draw up 3D divorce proceedings? Very good.
Who is it? Richard Wright. Has this given you any ideas for how to use
Richard
your
Wright.
3D
Richard
pen?
Wright. Wait a minute. Richard Wright. Do you have access to the 3D pen? Hang on. Hang the fuck
That's
on.
how we started this.
Yeah,
he
he
bought
bought
one
it.
and didn't use
I know.
it.
No, I know.
Did I fix John's handlebar with this?
We're very much approaching the anniversary. But are you all right, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you guys hear the music coming out of the hallway?
No.
I was trying to figure out if it was speakers or someone with an actual guitar. Because if it was on like day one that there was someone just going for it with a fucking acoustic guitar, I'd be like, yeah, that checks out. But also, it's going to be a very long month.
Where are you? Just in this hostel for the next month?
Yeah, till the end of January. Just couldn't find a short-term spot for January. I got an email about a place that's like a cottage in the backyard of this couple's house, and the cottage looks great, but it feels very murdery. So I'm gonna go take a look at it, and we'll see.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. I could so see you living in a place where it's like, aren't you worried this couple's gonna murder you? And you're like, they don't have core strength. Like, I just feel like
I want to meet them.
Yeah.
I just want to meet them first. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She works from home. He's retired. We'll see.
I want to tell you where my head's at right now. When you started into and he's I was like, where is Chris going with this?
He's really retarded.
No.
Oh, no. That word, I gotta tell you.
That word has to be retired.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought Ashley was going to use it right there. Here's the funny thing about that word. What I love about that word is that it is the perfect. I could immediately know how. I understand how I feel about someone, because I'm all for slip of the tongue. Accidentally, things happen. Like, I understand. We're all like the amount of stuff I say in my head is wild. So occasionally stuff that pops out, but it's when people just drop it real casual. I love it, because I'm just like, right, perfect. You are acquaintance at best. Good, fine, totally fine. And what I look for is you drop it and then I am so sorry. The unsolicited is just like, boop, boop, boop. That's what you want. Yeah.
I apologize for nothing. I've got a joke about it right now where it's and I actually feel this way in that we need to. It's one of the few words that like we didn't replace when we got rid of it, and it's very important that we do.
I mean,
we need a new word for what we meant by it.
You need to check out Doug Stanhope has a bit that's it's in the same ballpark, but not the same premise of the idea of, well, the problem with humans is whatever word we use to define people who suffer from, for lack of a better term, something like a developmental delay, that any of that sort of stuff, they are disabled mentally, whatever that word is. Human beings will use it to insult. Like, bear in mind, moron was the clinical, like idiot. All were medical terms. The problem is that.
Well, so was that one. That one was also the one the doctors used. They were all the medical term.
Well, that one is also a word that's also used in other things, which brings us to Dana Gould's amazing bit about the R word, the N word, and the C word. That's also of the idea of that's the only one that was also a word for other things. Go watch the bit. It's the best bit about. It's that and Louis C.K.'s bit about use of language. It's so fucking perfect.
That was unbelievable.
Go ahead, Ashley. I assume you're just going to drop the R word right now.
No, I remember a lecture I was in where I'm trying to remember the piece of information, but idiot was a word that came from it was a masculine word. And
of course, the first idiot was a man. Ashley, there's no doubt. No doubt.
But it was
looked at a fire and thought, I can watch that.
I forget. It was idiot was the masculine, and it came from a Latin word close to it. I think maybe Latin, and then lunatic was the feminine. Because lunacy was that like
because of the moon,
feminine, the moon kind of thing. That was the whole thing. And I can't remember the full information of this lecture. I just remember that being the thing was that idiot was the masculine, lunacy was the feminine.
Oh, it's actually interesting because I'm listening to Mythos by Stephen Fry, which is all about like Greek gods and different gods, but has the etymology of a bunch of words. And I remember this actually because they mention lunatic, and it comes from a god whose original name translated into English is actually bitches be crazy.
That was a long way to go. That was a long way to go.
It was. And it was worth it so much for the rage in someone's face.
You'll be the first to die.
Yeah, I know.
When I start murdering people, you're going to be my test run.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
So yours is going to be messy. It's going to be painful. It won't be clean.
Nice.
You know.
But you know who'll be very impressed with how well you murder me? This guy.
This guy.
He'll be happy. He's going to be pleased. Look at you. Okay, so Richard Wright has.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the same thing. You go for it.
He has taken a beautiful. There he is with the pen.
Oh, right my days.
Now we don't have to do this today, but Richard, would you feel comfortable. Possibly on the next mega stream, we haven't actually got. What the fuck was that noise? We haven't gotten around to planning it, but I would like to say, mega stream. Richard Wright uses the 3D pen on stream for the first time.
Oh,
possibly
I like that.
possibly to fix a pair of shoes. He then let's see how far he can walk before they fall apart. Richard,
I think not for the first time. I like the idea of him, Richard. If you can pick a craft, pick your own 5-minute craft, and then present it during the mega stream.
Oh yeah,
as a life hack for us and all the Troggies, we would appreciate that.
Yeah, if you can put together a little video, that would be excellent.
Oops. Very cool.
Coming in from Yes Meatballs. Fun fact: John Hastings is French for first up against the wall when the revolution comes. Beautiful.
Just screaming, the Emperor was always nice to me.
Of course.
I was weirdly thinking about murder today.
Come on, yeah, why wouldn't you? It is my mom's birthday.
Well, what I was actually thinking about was
happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to your mom.
Oh, happy birthday, Glenn.
Happy birthday,
Yay.
Mom. Ashley's celebrating it by just thinking about murder.
Well, what I was actually thinking about was I cut my thumb in the shower yesterday, and I've cut it in the same
And
place
you
as I
sucked
cut it.
and you like the taste.
I love
Yeah,
the
you're like,
taste.
oh, I could
Love
get
the
into
taste.
this. I could.
Yeah. But I've cut it in the same place a couple of times. I think it's this particular bottle of shower wash that I get, this body wash that I get, and with
it
Very important.
just whatever way the lid is, I keep slicing my finger off it. So I like it's ridiculous.
King Geo, you
But
gotta do
also because I have been using steroids on my skin for quite a while, my skin just like it's so fragile that it just sort of cuts really easily now, especially if it's wet in the shower. So it's really, really deep. And then I told my dad that I cut my finger, and he's like, well, you've disproved the saying that the first cut is the deepest. And then my brain just went with that. My brain was just like, what does that phrase even mean? That's bullshit. If I'm stabbing somebody, the first cut is probably like, I don't even know what what the strength is that I need. It's
Well-
going to take me at least 2. I feel like it's, like skimming stones, it's like in the wrist, you kind of got to figure it out for a couple of beats. I feel like stabbing somebody's probably quite similar.
Well, I just got to
You
say,
know,
so
like-
the song "The First Cut Is the Deepest" is by Canadian poet Bryan Adams,
Yeah.
and so obviously it's a metaphor for emotional
Mhm.
hurt for your
Yeah,
first
but it still makes no sense.
breakup, and because he doesn't write anything literal because he's a poet and he's a creative genius.
But
He wrote a
it's
song
still-
called "The Summer of '69," and
Mhm.
it was played on the radio all the time, and he just sang about 69ing for
But wait a minute.
2.5
Does
minutes.
Bryan Adams have
Dude's a
2
genius.
songs about how love cuts you? Because he has cuts
Cuts like a knife.
and First Cut is the Deepest.
Oh, his First Cut Is the Deepest might be someone else.
Maybe
on it.
Bryan
Maybe
Adams
not.
is the murderer.
I think Bryan Adams only
Has he
has cuts
murdered
like a
some
knife.
exes? Has anybody checked?
Ashley, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You get Bryan Adams' name out of your mouth if you're going to talk like that. That man is the poet laureate of Canada, and he is
Rod Stewart. It's Rod
Stewart.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think
England's
that's
Bryan
right.
Adams.
Yeah, well, I got a news for you. Bryan Adams has the song "Cuts Like a Knife," which is possibly the best worst song in the. We can't play it because Ashley, I want you to right now start playing "Cuts Like a Knife" by Bryan Adams. I want you to give me a review. Get ready. It is so awful. It is you for the rest of your life. You'll just be going, and it cuts like a knife.
Oh, I don't want another shitty song stuck in my head. Do you know what's stuck in
But
my
it
head at the
feels
moment?
so
is-
right.
You shouldn't have started to do a podcast and stream with 2 white dudes in their late 30s, my friend, if you didn't want shitty songs stuck in your head. Now, if you'll excuse me, Chris, let's sing Wheat Kings. Hit it.
The song that I have stuck in my head at the moment is fucking. It's so bad. It's a new song, and I don't even know who sings it. And it just goes. It's like the alphabet A B C D E F U, and it just pisses me off because I can't stop singing it, but I hate it.
that. Oh, I hate it so much.
You go. Wait, let me see if I can figure out what song that is, and then you guys have to go and sing that or go and listen to that.
Is it? I mean, ladies and gentlemen,
It's literally called A B C D E F U by somebody
FU,
called
right?
Gail. Gayle. It
I'm
is a
listening
TikTok
to-
song. I
Oh.
hate it.
Because right now I'm
I hate
listening
it
to
so
Bryan
much.
Adams' seminal album, Waking Up the Neighbors.
Oh, fuck you.
And the first song is called Is Your Mama Gonna Miss You? So I was just going to listen to that. But I suppose.
I mean, I also like, by the way, that if you do mention Canada and poetry, I knew you could find Canadians so quickly. You're like, Bryan Adams is the poet laureate of Canada as a joke, and immediate. Gord Downie, you
Okay.
reprobate.
Yeah.
I knew it immediately.
I'm listening to Cuts Like a Knife.
Okay, good. So you get the really annoying, weirdly smooth guitar for a song that's very
Uh-huh.
vicious and mean.
But it feels so right, John.
Yeah.
Why is he cutting an apple?
I don't know. Also,
Because he's a
also, isn't
cool
it
guy.
Also, isn't he doing it so violently? Also, but in a way where you're like, you don't know how to use a knife, do you, Brian?
You don't know how to cut an apple, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
it's so good. It's so good. And they're in a pool. Why are they in a pool? What was with music videos? And they were like, "Listen, we don't have an idea for
It's
this."
such
video.
iconic makeup, though, on the woman.
Oh, I don't
the
remember what the woman looked like.
Bright blue eyeshadows of the 90s.
Oh,
I don't
first
even
of
know
all,
if this is in the 90s. It's the 80s.
This is in the 80s.
But I feel like this is just where it came from because that trend just took off in the 90s. That bright blue eyeshadow.
Well, it depends on where. Canada, it was like the bright big hair was very 80s, and then 90s. What it was like every woman just got high and tight on the sides, kind of like a weird flat top but forward. You know, everyone looked like Grace Jones in A View to a Kill.
Oh yeah, this is the pool one.
I don't
Why is he
hate
in a
this song.
pool?
I mean, you are gonna hate this song because in 6 months, someone will say, "Hey, pass me the knife," and you'll go, "And it cuts like a knife."
Oh yeah, for the rest of your life. That's in there
Yeah,
now.
the rest of your life. Like it's.
But
just,
that's a
I don't
that's
know.
a gift. Oh,
It's-
Esme, thank you so much for
Hey!
subbing.
Thank you so
It's
much
not
for
too much of an
subscribing.
Hey, thank you so much for the sub.
Yeah, we love you. First sub of 2022. I think we might have gotten one on New
That
Year's,
is not
but
true.
I don't remember.
I think we got one New Year's. Oh wait, I don't know if we got one after.
No,
the
because
New
we stopped
Year,
right
though.
after New Year. Yeah, so those were the last
We
of
did.
2021.
Yeah, we stopped.
First sub of 2022.
Oh,
Ashley,
okay, I'm
what's
done
going on? Happy
listening
New
to
Year,
this.
Ashley.
Happy New Year. Ashley.
Hey, can't have enough blue eyeshadow, right? I still have a load of blue eyeshadow. Blue is the best one in terms of eyeshadow.
Do you know what was also a weird trope of this Bryan Adams-y time, the blue eyeshadow, which was that you could just, as a teen, if a guy coughs near you, you will be pregnant. Because I was like I just remember this so vividly of this time period. Like TV shows would literally be like, she lost her virginity. Not even. She just gave a guy a hand job. She is now pregnant with 8 kids at the same time. Like it's such a weird time where it was like, yeah, like have cool, edgy clothing.
You
but
mean a
bare-
time where they really didn't respect women? Sure.
Yes. Thank God we are no longer in that time now. Actually, we're all.
I think it's a
women are
time
respected.
where feminism had sort of come along and they were just past it enough that female sexuality was not as demonized as it was being up until that point, but
it
there
was up
was
for
not
debate.
enough.
Yeah,
It was still a little bit up for debate, but there were a lot of women feeling sexually liberated. But what didn't come with that was knowledge around sex, like sexual safety and protection and how to not get pregnant.
You know, Esme asks a great question, sir. This is totally out of left field.
Uh-huh.
Did we already have a hype song? I don't think we have had a hype train song.
Not
for the new
not
year
in the
yet.
new year.
No, not yet.
I was
just
really
throwing that out there.
gonna see how long we could get without it.
I do actually. What are you talking?
Totally
What
fair.
are you talking about? I will tell you what I'm talking
What
about.
are we talking
and that's
about?
I'm talking about that in like the mid 90s, especially. I just remember every TV show. Degrassi is, of course, the most notorious for this, but in media, they portrayed the teen pregnancy for about 3 to 4 years in the 90s. It was represented in media like it was the common cold at times. Or it'd be like, you watch the every teen is out there just getting pregnant.
Well, this was the
really?
it's the kind
I
of
don't remember
the
it like
the
that.
backlash of that kind of feminist thing then as well, though, is that they're trying to now demonize teenage girls
yeah,
by
it was
saying
also this-
you're just going to get pregnant and ruin your life. Like, oh, fine,
that-
you can have feminism, you can be sexual, but just know that it comes with a price.
Well, that's how I remember it. Is it was always a very special episode, or there was always like a character that you'd never heard of before who suddenly started dating someone, And then they were like,
No.
Thank you so much.
King Geo gifting out 5, Esme giving out 3, Esme. But for some reason, it says the hype train is close.
We will return to this debate of
do we need bits? Did someone need to do bits or something?
Of the sexual body politic of the 80s and 90s in a few moments. But first,
I think, am I getting it wrong? Ellie Mae's in the chat
First.
saying that that's not the message. I'm getting slightly. Am I getting something wrong?
I mean, I got to tell you. This is what
to be fair, I wasn't alive in the 80s.
That's true. And also, you have to remember, Ellie Mae is living in a different continent, different place than you are. So also, what the 80s and 90s
cultural
were
context slightly different.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s in say Ireland.
Yeah, a little bit different. Stop it! No, guys, what have you done?
Hi.
This comment needs to stay for a little while. This is what we need to contemplate when you meet
Ashley,
you just
ruined the moment of reflection. So we're starting.
No. I'm just letting you know that this is what you need to reflect on. For the podcast listeners, Ashley's story says my vagina just got real dry.
Excuse me, Chris. We are not at level 2. We're still at level 1 because Ashley ruined the moment of contemplation. Let's start again. And
This is the fastest hype train song in eternity.
Time. Thank you for the sub.
Oh, that was actually Joe Trope about that. Thank you so much for
it's a
all
gift.
this gifting.
Yes, thank you for all the
Richard, for the
subs.
bits.
I
Thank
hate
you,
to say this,
Kirsten, for
actually-
giving out subs. Thank you, Joe, for giving out a sub. Thank you, King Geo. Thank you, Esme. Now back to it. Hype. Happy New Year, 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 Happy New Hype.
level 3. Hype.
What was my dream song? Hype train song. Hype train song. Hype train song.
No, actually,
It's a hype train song. It's the song.
Actually, I absolutely would like to do that.
The show's 2022. This is the first hype train of the year. Ashley's so mad. No one's having fun except for John and I.
And most
We're having so much fun.
in the chat.
No one likes this song, but this was the fastest hype train in history. Lost a viewer. Oh, we've lost more than one. Hype train is one of the greatest.
Pretty sure we always lose viewers from this.
Oh wow, we're almost to level 5.
Hell.
We're almost to level 5. Ruffle Bricks, we're at level 5. Who Blue, thank you for gifting. King Geo, thank you for gifting. Wait, we need to decide. Okay, no, level 5 gets to be Ashley's choice because we
Does
don't know
it
what level
though?
5 is. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what level 5 is. We've never gotten
know
here
what
before.
We never got to level 5 before, have we?
That's right.
Maybe once, but we didn't really know
We
what
did
it was.
once,
so
but
Ashley,
we
you get
didn't know what to
decide.
do for it either.
I think it was during the launch stream when like we had done the hype train and we were also like it was the most busy time. For some reason we decided to launch this channel. Like it was like the week where we all had everything to do. So we were so
Yeah.
exhausted. And then
We were
like,
so exhausted.
And then it was like, there's a level 5? And it was just like,
So
they're like
surprised.
what do we do for level 5? It's like be quiet and sit quietly.
So
Turn off the
Ashley,
stream.
you get to decide what level 5 for the hype train song is.
Level 5 of the hype train song is I don't know.
Oops.
Trying to oh
Smash
dear.
the place up, why don't you, Chris?
You've gone all dark. I don't can it not just be silence, sweet, lovely?
No,
silence.
They can't. They're not paying
Just-
for.
No, they're paying for something. We got to give them something, Ashley. It's level 5. It's the culmination.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it should be something to celebrate and thank our lovely supporters.
They're wonderful. Look at it. Look at all the things they've gifted us.
I think it should be that you say hype train song as quickly as possible, which is such a contrast to the rest of them.
Oh, really? Is that what you think? Because I think this.
Yes.
Hype train, hype, 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 I can't hear the video right now, by the way. It's just frozen on my screen, so I'm guessing.
I want you all to know that Ashley did some sort of magic to my cursor, and I couldn't get the cursor to unmute, so I can't sing.
Yeah, I definitely cursed that. I cursed your cursor.
Come out. Yeah, play John Cage. That's very funny. This is so funny. Just play John Cage, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. 4:33. Do you know what that is, Ashley? It's a
No.
You sit at a piano in silence for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, and the ambient noise of the room is the improvisational song.
I actually do. I have heard of that. I just didn't realize it was called John Cage 433.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think we
And by the
watched it
way,
on stream once.
We did watch it on stream once. And
Yeah.
let me tell you who was insufferable. I think it was before your time. It was when Chris and I were
Okay.
alone. And where the fuck did that cookie come from?
Trust Chris to just pull a cookie out of thin air.
Thank you
Is that
so
what you were
much.
getting when you knocked your light down?
No, that was just physics. This is joy.
Where did that cookie come? Tell me where that cookie came from now. I demand to know. I
Yeah, right
fucking
there.
hate that you- I have.
He's
I
got
don't
a
like that
whole
you made it-
stash of
Nope.
them.
Nope. I don't like that. Come on. I
Oh
feel like-
no.
That's better. That's much
Yeah.
better. Can you magic up cookies? I love even more now. Welcome, Richard. I like this positioning. There we go.
Oh dear.
Actually, no. Chris should go down here because Chris is actually in way of his own face, and then it makes sense. Actually, let's do it this way. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, how was your journey back? Do you have COVID yet?
I don't have COVID.
I don't know if I'm the only one that's had COVID.
I on St. Stephen's Day, I sat
Not a real thing.
next to
The what day?
St. Stephen's Day is what it is called.
No, I think you'll find
On
it
St.
called-
Stephen's Day,
It's called
which is the
Boxing
26th
Day.
of December for anyone not from Ireland.
What was that,
St.
Tom?
Stephen's Day. Not just for you, just everyone.
That was the politest way I've
Um,
ever heard you say dirty foreigners.
Yeah, it's by the way, that is the most Irish thing ever, is to be like, just to let you know, we actually figured out the right way in Ireland, and it's called St. Stephen's Day. And it's like, well, the rest of the world agreed
It's
it's
the
called
feast of
something
St.
different.
Stephen.
Again, only
A feast
Ireland
of
is like-
sales.
yeah, it's a feast of delicious sales. Some people.
On St. Stephen's Day, I sat next to somebody who tested positive for COVID that evening. And I really freaked. I really was like, shit, I've got it now. I've got it now.
Yeah.
But nothing's
If-
happened.
if you want to feel better, the second like in that week right before I left, went to a pub, bunch of people, didn't get COVID. All of them got it because of a vaccine, and then I was just spent the week. I could feel the vaccine fighting off the virus, and then got it in the airport. That's what I think happened.
Real quick, just to interrupt. Choo choo! Thank you so much, everybody. That's the end of the hype train. We got to level 5.
Thank
15
you.
subs, 800 bits. Absolutely remarkable. You're all beloved. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it, guys. It's so nice of you. And yeah,
I have no idea how I haven't had it yet. And honestly, part of me thinks that I did get it, and I just was asymptomatic and never knew. That's the only thing that makes
possible.
sense.
That's the
That's
thing.
the only thing that makes sense to me, because I lived with someone who had it, and she was irresponsible. And
wait,
then,
when did you live with someone who had it?
Right at the beginning. Right at the beginning. Like before things had locked down.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
Wait a minute.
you know who it was.
Is it the one who close to the bathroom or close to the front door?
Front door.
No, she never.
She was a real dick about it. I had to yell at her for being in public spaces and touching everything and not wearing any gloves or mask or washing her hands or anything. And then she yelled at me and apologized 2 days later when she'd clearly been bitching about me to her friends, and her friends were like, "He's right, you're a dick."
Yeah,
so
wait. I mean,
yeah.
that is okay. So that's okay. I have to report back. Like that changes a whole situation. Because never mind. I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah. She's a dick. Yeah. So there's her. I'm doing shows. I feel like I must have fucking had it. There's just no way. There's no.
Chris, Chris, here's what you have to remember: the vaccine, in fact, does work in repelling this virus.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
It's just omnipresent. As all the doctors I spoke with when I got COVID last week, when I said, "Oh, I was in England," and then they went, "Oh, you have that? Yeah, everyone's going to get that because it's just everywhere." Like they were like, it's hanging in the air.
Yeah.
Like if you were making out with someone who had the Delta variant. So just
did anyone hear that in the tune of the Snowman song?
Yeah.
We're flying in the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy holiday variant.
That was my first time being a close contact. That's the closest I've come to getting it, and I was freaked, but it didn't come up positive, so
nice.
He
was singing the wrong song, Ashley. Yeah.
I don't know. I do not know.
That's why I was cutting across you.
Wait, what song were you talking about? There's only one.
We're walking in the air.
Yeah.
Never heard of this song.
From the show The Snowman. It's not Frosty the Snowman. It's called The Snowman, and it's a little boy in his pajamas, and
you're gonna know it as soon as you hear it.
You have to play it on your.
I think I've just made this bit of my forehead red from scratching it.
Oh, by the way, we got a copyright thing on this stream already, which means that we sang one of the songs so well that we got copyright infringement.
Or is it the Thomas the Tank song?
Anything. Oh shit, it could be the Thomas the Tank Engine song.
I feel like it could be the Thomas the Tank Engine song.
I chose to think that it was John singing Cuts Like a Knife, but that's what he can do.
Maybe we're gonna have to just sing the Thomas the Tank Engine song now.
I want you all to know I have never heard this nightmarish song before.
Sorry. I really wanted to do that as soon as I said it.
I am not watching this depressive, horrific show. This is awful.
It's beautiful.
Never watched it. I just know the British people love it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's a British thing? No, I don't know. You guys, all of your child media around holidays is like, oh my God.
Who are you saying you're to?
You guys, you're basically British. You know that.
All white Europeans who live on islands off of the west coast of Europe.
Yeah.
Tread carefully there.
Why? Why is a bunch of Irish people going to go? How dare you? How dare you think we have anything to do with the nation of the United Kingdom? We have actually, they are your largest trade partner, which no one can actually explain to me in any way. What the fuck are you guys trading? I want that explained. Andrew Maxwell
Steve making a pitch.
So much food.
about a small boy being kidnapped by a snowman. John,
Do you know
you'll
what's
love it.
excellent? I don't know if I have a funny feeling we said this on the show before, but all throughout Europe, Marks and Spencers would supply food to a lot of brand like food places in Europe. And when Brexit came in, they all completely shut down. They couldn't bring the food through. And Super Value, which is an Irish brand, swooped the fuck in, saved the day, and now Ireland supplies all of that food.
Nice.
Listen, I'm not saying that, England's folly isn't going to benefit the Emerald Isle. I'm just saying, what is...
Could you say that a little more, Nixon?
Emerald Isle. What is England giving Ireland? I can understand that you were giving them butter and bunnies, probably beef, bread. I don't know.
No, keep listing. Keep listing. More inventory.
A bunch of thin, shiftless men who seem to be stood around gyms and construction areas smoking, but never actually doing anything. COVID, you give them COVID. Yeah. Yep, you give them COVID.
Probably.
I don't fully know is the answer, to be honest.
It's one of those ones too, but it's also, again, I also do love pulling the leg of any Irish person that's like, we are nothing like the United Kingdom in any way. And it's like,
I'm not saying we're nothing like them. I'm just saying we're not them. We're not British.
Oh, guys, it's good to be back.
Fair. That is fair. I'll tell you, let me say this, though, about England, is when is it just going to go into the sea and go away? When is that going to happen? Because I'm looking forward to that day.
Hey,
if you guys thought my visit to the UK had settled my feelings towards England, having to run away when the entire nation seemed like it was trying to actively give me COVID.
I mean, we were talking to you then, messaging at least, and you were so stressed.
Oh my god!
Wait, I want everyone to remember that for me, the defining thing about your trip to England was every single stream. At some point, you said, "You know what? I was really dreading this, and I'm glad I'm here now." I was really exhausted.
Well, because on top of everything else, there's something that I'm not going to talk about on stream that you guys are aware of. That was like, oh my god, can anything else bad happen? And then it was like, oh, you want more? Okay, here you go. Like before I got COVID, I just had a cold for 2 weeks, which is also just really irritating because everyone assumes you're irresponsible, and in England they would be right. Yeah. The amount of different comedians I saw at shows. I'm not going to say the name of this fuck, but I remember
private chat though.
Of course. By the way, I want
the bottom of the sea.
I want exactly. I want you all to watch Chris's face when I tell this story, and then I'm going to hit enter on the name in the private chat. I want you to all watch.
Chris's face. Ashley, I know that story. Yeah, somebody turned up. Somebody turned up at a gig, refused to wear a mask, and the whole lineup came down with COVID.
Private chat, please. Private chat. Private chat.
Let
us know. Private chat.
I'm gonna have to try and remember their name.
So I showed up.
Or Ashley, please DM us. Ashley Story, please DM us if Ashley Manning can't remember.
I think that's his name.
Anyway, I showed up at a gig. No, that's a different guy.
I think I've got the name wrong.
So I show up at a gig and I ask the other comedian, "How are you?" And by the way, he's outside, I'm inside. He's got his mask off, but we're like far away. And I'm like, "Hey man," and I'm like walking up to shake his hand. And as I'm walking up, I go, "How are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, pretty good. I just got the booster. My wife does have COVID, of course, right now." And I was like, "Wait, right now?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I've had COVID and boosted, so I could leave the house." And I was like, "Thanks, man." And then I just like back up, put a mask on. And then he went across the street to go have a pint at a pub. That's what I remembered. And by the way, Chris, let's watch Chris's face. Are we ready?
Yeah.
John, Ashley has sent you that name, which I have gotten wrong.
On what?
Oh, no, you were right. You were right, Ashley.
Am I?
Yeah, because I DM'd her through the UTS channel.
I did think I was right.
Apparently, they were walking around going, "I've got a sore throat" with no mask on. Just
what?
What
gig? What gig? Who's this fucking guy?
Ashley, Story. What was the gig? That way, everyone can trace it back. This is
Yeah. Oh, I have a story. I'll tell you guys off air. I was going to say it on air, but it's just the problem with it is it involves a person. It involves one person and another person, and by me knowing that story, it's very easy to tell where I got the story from.
Okay.
And,
Right.
And like the person is, it involves a person with a certain amount of power to the point like it would be bad. But I'll tell you off,
Okay.
and you will be like,
That's exciting.
be like, wow, that makes sense.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Comedy Club for Kids just tweeted at me. I should watch The Snowman. No, I don't know which one of you sons of bitches just went and involved the children of comedy. But vengeance will be mine.
I'll be right back. I have to walk down the hall to get to a shared bathroom, so I'll see you in a minute.
Oh man,
Have fun. I hope he meets I hope he meets somebody along the way.
Like who?
I don't know, but I just hope he has an adventure story when he gets back.
That is true. Actually, you strike me as the kind of person that is fundamentally against the notion of sharing a toilet. You seem like the kind of person that you're an ensuite till you die.
Yeah. You're really spot on with that.
Yeah.
I am currently sharing a toilet.
But that's a flatmate situation.
But
Like,
that's a
it's one-
flatmate situation, and I despise it. I despise it. For
Oh, buddy.
A few different reasons.
Attention-
don't like it that much.
Like, you know how I had bed bugs in September, and only got to bed literally an hour before we started. We hit go on the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you I had such an amazing experience being away from my home, but I can't tell you just the calming energy of just being like, this is where all of my things go. I could take the biggest shit and not flush it for days, and no one is allowed.
You're not gonna do that,
criticize
but I understand what you're saying.
I'm doing it right now. It is basting as we speak. I'm afraid.
No, that's awful. I hate you.
I like telling people I got two kitchens. Place where I made the food for this hole, and then there's a kitchen over there.
Stop it.
With
Just
this
get
whole-
the fuck. No, the show can just be me now, because that is gross. I was genuinely about to press the same guy.
I was debating, do we go
We're-
that guy or did I go?
I
this
was
guy?
about to press that guy. That's so funny. I mean, I'm here for toilet humor. I said the phrase, I've been wiping red for the past 2 weeks earlier on in the show, but that was too far for me, John.
Is he? Oh, yeah. Well, David Crosby seems to be judging you for what you did. See, David Crosby is about acceptance, right, David? That's right. I mean, I don't think he actually is.
I don't like sharing a toilet. I don't like sharing a kitchen either.
Really? The kitchen is designed to be communal.
I get that. I really, really do. But well, I mean, fundamentally, it's not even that I don't like sharing things. It's that I have crippling OCD, and
that's very different.
Yeah, and I find it a lot easier to actually, my OCD probably gets worse if I'm by myself, but for me mentally, it's easier if I'm by myself. But then it's probably that thing of like I then go into a space where I'm sharing and it's 10 times worse than it was before. I was just by myself with my OCD for a long time.
I know what you're saying. I just want to let everyone know, by the way, we've talked about shitting 2 times already into this new year. Very exciting. Also, Ashley, can you tell me what an okie doke is? David Crosby looks like okie doke.
I have
Who's okie doke?
absolutely no idea what that is.
What is the weirdest currently shitting in real time? Whoa!
Yes.
Here's my question for you, Ashley. What is the weirdest assumption someone has made about OCD when you've said to them, I have OCD? Like, what's the weirdest thing? So they're like, so you know how to drive an airplane? Like, you know what I mean? Like one of those weird.
Yeah. I haven't really had anything that much. I don't say it that often. I don't tell people I have it that often. And not, it just, I don't know. I think it's one of those things when you say it, people think it's really, people don't really take it seriously because people say that frivolously a lot. People say they have OCD, like, oh, I'm really OCD about the way I keep my forks or something. People use that as a very casual throwaway phrase. Now, I will say OCD is probably one of those things that has a little bit of a spectrum as well. I'd say everybody has like little finicky things that they like a certain way, but it is not the same as the mental struggle of having OCD.
I almost actually think that a lot of people have adopted what they think is the behavior of someone with OCD, or just clean freaks. Do you know what I mean? Like how, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that exactly what you're saying will use it as a punchline, and it's like, I know people with OCD. It's like, it actually isn't a lot. It's much more.
I mean, the thing that
fear and anxiety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's less. So a lot of people get hung up on the idea of OCD as being the compulsions. That's the obsessive cleaning, the turning off light switches and stuff like that. I don't really even do that much. There's little things that I do, like the thing that I told you before about the water. Sometimes I'll get a bit stuck thinking that I'm not getting drinking water, which is stupid. But I'll just have to refill my glass a few times. Sometimes I even have to get a fresh glass because I'm just like, there's non-drinking water on the glass. Yeah, I'll just like get stuck in a thought.
I'm formulating a weird theory when it comes to sort of mental health subjects around neurodiversity, which is you can kind of tell. This is going to sound really weird, by the way. Yeah, great definition coming in from Ashley's story. It's not being Monica from Friends.
It's not being Monica from Friends.
People talk about, and this is, by the way,
except for some people, it might be very close to what she does.
Yeah, it's more.
It manifests differently for everybody.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that are like, oh, I'm a super clean freak, I'm OCD, and it's like, yes, but if there's something out of place, do you think you're going to die? You know what I mean? Like it's there's another level.
Yeah. And it is like for me, it's not that it's not even a constant cleaning thing. It's like sometimes if I get an anxious thought in my head, I suddenly need to clean like everything to just sort of try and calm down. Now, sometimes I think it's more of a like, that's a physical exercise. It's like a physical motion thing that I can do to relieve anxious energy in my body. But I can kind of get a bit out of sorts with it sometimes. But that's the thing, is that a lot of people associate OCD with compulsions more than with the obsessions, and the obsessions is actually the part that's really difficult, is that you just get thoughts in your head that you just can't, you obsess over them, like you they're just, and they're not thoughts that you even want to think about. And I'll get like one of the ones that I might actually be able to say, because I try not to actually talk about them because they freak me out too much. But the one that I remember that is like,
you don't have to talk about them at all if you don't want to.
No, but the one that I could probably use as an example is like, I threw a stick for my dog once. And you know how when you just like throw, like sometimes things go badly. And I threw the stick for the dog and the stick landed on his head. Right, but then the angle that I was able to see it at, I thought it hit him in the eye. And then he walks over and I can see, I'm looking at the dog in front of me, seeing his eye is completely fine. But for the, like, even now, sometimes I will get stuck in my brain with this like image of the dog's eye pouring with blood. Like it just freaked me out so much. I had a full panic attack about it. And it just completely freaked me out, but I couldn't stop thinking about this. And it made me so afraid to actually ever throw a stick for my dog again.
Oh, it's one of life's simple pleasures. Wait, what kind of dog was it though?
This was Odie, the retriever.
Yeah, I got news for you. I don't know if this is going to help with your OCD. You could have thrown a dagger at that dog's eye, and it could have hit him in the eye, and he still would be like, "Throw something else." Like, let's do
Oh
this.
yeah.
Like, this is the other thing, especially coming in from Ashley's story. For me, under the neurodiverse umbrella, where OCD and ASD live, it's like things in their right place or doing things the same way every time I pass a landmark or feeling like I failed.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I understand.
I don't totally understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand that completely either. So is it the idea of like the amount of times you've done something is you're avoiding that failure of failure, or if you do it too many times, it feels like you have failed?
I think those are three separate things.
If you haven't done it correctly.
Yeah. So there's like things have to be in the right place, making sure that you do something like how they say hello and goodbye to the fairies on the Isle of Man. Every time you pass a landmark kind of thing. Or like when I was a kid, we used to hold our breath whenever we went through tunnels.
Or raise your feet when you're going past a graveyard.
Yeah, or
when you're going out the graveyard.
We used to do raise your feet when you drive over railway station lines.
Yeah, but the difference is those things kind of they
ours were fun. Ours weren't obsessive.
They become fun, but then there's things that there's times when those things, if you don't do them, you actually like you can just get sick or something. It's if I don't say I'm going to work there one day when I pass this specific car wash, I feel like I'm dying inside, like I failed. Like those silly wee things become massively important. Yeah. There's little compulsive behaviors like that. Like I say, I don't actually have the compulsions as much as I have the obsessive thoughts. The obsessive thoughts freak me out, but I think I struggle a little bit as well with them because they sort of blur with my PTSD a little bit.
Interesting.
So it's I'll get stuck on thoughts, but they'll sometimes be the PTSD memories or bullshit like that. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah. But the OCD thing, I don't know. That's why I find it hard to share spaces.
I mean, it's interesting. I had therapy before this, and I talked to my therapist about getting a referral to a psychiatrist just because there's a bunch of stuff that sort of keeps coming up throughout the year where I'm like, all right, I think we need a medical expert. Just there was I think I've had 3 to 4 panic attacks since December 12th, which I thought was sort of normal. I just have them in a cluster. But then anyone who has had any sort of actual like experience with mental health makes that face right there where they went, what? What? I'm exceptional. So it's an interesting one you were getting into all of this sort of stuff because it's still this interesting thing that society has moved past. But going back to the 80s and the 90s, I still was a kid in the 90s when like, no one talks about this, but one of the cultural touchstones of that decade was someone would say, I'm in therapy. And then the town would gather around and go, is that because you're a bitch? And then so I still have this in my head, even though it's like, I would be a self-pissing mess if it wasn't for my goddamn, a little bit of mindfulness and some like actual sort of like just having someone once a week to go like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's still the weirdest thing when it comes to that stuff. And it was such a like that and the embrace of bullying is quietly some of the stupidest stuff as a society we did because it has fucked us forever. Do you know how pleasant England would be if it wasn't for bullying, the class system, and just the absolute abuse everyone goes through when they were kids from 7 until university?
Well, it was the same in Canada. I mean, we were all,
Canada
bullying
is crazy.
and just nuts. But like, there was something about like when we were kids, it was like the dominant philosophical statement was suck it up.
Oh yeah.
And it was very much like suffering is inevitable. So shut your fucking mouth and we're all just going to move past it. And too bad. And that's one of the things that I love about these kids right now is that they're sort of being like, but it doesn't have to be, at least not in the ways that you've just allowed it to be. Like you guys really sort of gave up. We really like looking past when I listen to like young people right now and they talk about all the ways that they'd like to sort of incrementally improve things. It makes our generation, every generation before, it seem so depressed that we're like, whatever, we'll just deal with it. Doesn't matter.
And by the way, in fairness to my mother, whose birthday it is, happy birthday, Mom, not everyone was dealing with this. I remember being 10 and the principal was like, I was being bullied viciously. And then the guy's dad, by the way, tried to get my mom to pay for that kid's retainer because I finally stood up for myself and broke his retainer because it was in his pocket. I'll never forget this. And my mom got called in and like the principal's like, so it's like a reason things boys will be boys. And my mom like leaned forward in a trench coat and went, no. My son was defending himself. He tried to get money out of me. Nah, it's on him. You don't punish my son. And it was this weird moment of, you know, when adults aren't ready for confrontation, it's one of my favorite energies in the room when one person has just gone like, oh, you thought this was going to be an easy meeting? This is a hard meeting for you. It was just like, oh, there's nothing better in that. And by the way, then I don't remember what resolved. I just remember then the other bully that's what it was. The kid who was bullying me, by the way, now the janitor at the high school.
Hey, that guy.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned this guy before.
It's the best. The best.
Fuck that guy.
Because the principal was like, we can't really do anything. And then he was like, well, it's okay because I'm not allowed outside for recess for the rest of the year. And it was just like, I'll never forget that because I remember even being 10 and being like, if I was a parent and my kid was just like, actually, you don't need to punish me. I've already been viciously punished. I would be like, yeah, I think I might be part of the problem. I think I've raised a piece of shit. It's called going. This is coming in from LA May in the chat, who had nothing to do with the situation at all. It's called going nuclear as a parent.
I had a horrific bullying experience in school.
Oh God! What a fun first show of the year we're having.
I went home. It was on a school tour, and for some reason, this group of girls had just started like kind of getting at me. And then as the day went by, they started like stabbing pens into my head, like as a group. And I got home and my mother counted something like 36 like wounds in the back of my head.
Oh,
I need you to know this. I need you to know this. This is part of the reason I'm very concerned about ever having children, because if my child walks in and is like, I have 37 stab moves, I'm going to be, you write the names down. Write that down. Why? What's going to happen? Well, I don't know yet. I
wouldn't fess up to my mother.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't fess up to her. I was so, do you know what? It wasn't even out of fear. This was actually at the same time that I was quite sick, and I just wasn't really connecting with reality very well because of the do you know what? Fuck them. Their names.
Do it.
I don't even know if I remember their names.
Let's look them up on. Oh, I just dropped my mouse. Oh, fuck these.
Cleana something.
Cleana.
Cleana is an Irish name.
You know what's ironic about Cleana?
Dirty.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Dirty bitch. Fucking.
I probably shouldn't give their proper names.
I just
all right. How about just give us links to their Facebook
I'm
pages.
going to do just first names. Cleana, Michelle, Megan.
Oh fuck! We'll never in Ireland. We will never find two of these women.
And there was one or two more. But I wouldn't fess up. I was so completely discombobulated with medication at the time that I just didn't even see it as bullying. Like I just
what about their
couldn't.
confirmation names?
Can you tell us their confirmation?
I don't remember their confirmation names. So I wouldn't fess up, but somebody else reported it to the school.
Oh damn!
Somebody that I only found out who that person was last year.
Who was it? Was it the janitor?
No, it was somebody that I was very good friends with.
Okay.
It was somebody I was friends with at the time, and she never told me.
Was it Beyonce?
She never told me that she reported it. You guys just freaked the fuck out trying to get that up on screen.
Also,
that's nice. Why didn't she tell you? Why didn't she want to tell you?
I don't know. She just never wanted to tell me that. I think she never wanted them to know either. So she
Yeah, it's
probably just kept
possible,
it
yeah.
really quiet. But she told my mother.
Mm.
And my mother only told me last year. And then I ended up seeing her. Well, she's somebody that she's the only person from that school that I'd still keep in touch with. Not regularly, but it's one of those things where we might see each other once every few years and we pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only found that out last year. But the way the school handled it is so bad.
Oh yeah,
bring it on.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to see how they punish you.
They didn't even take it up with all of the crew. They picked the one girl that was Cleena. I just remembered her surname.
Was she the leader or was she the lowest on the totem pole?
What is
because normally they go for one of those.
Can you please give me Cleaner's full name? I want to go look her up on social media.
I don't even know if she's on it. I don't remember if she spells her name this way or this way.
Oh, David Hoare, Happy New Year, buddy.
Oh,
Good old
Trugmeisters.
I can't remember if which way she spells her name.
Can I
But
just say, in the great tradition of Ireland, the most complicated first name and the
because you can
simplest
spell
last name.
the
Of
spelling
course.
it's either CLIONA
uh,
or it's CLIONADH. But you can also spell it CLIODHNADH.
I'm not going
You
to
can do
give
two
away
DHs in it as well.
the last name, but that's a nightmare. Of like just to go from one.
Oh
to
no,
the
wait! You
other.
can also spell it CLIODHNA.
I just put that. I put the
That might be
complicated
the
Gaelic
correct
spelling.
way.
I put the complicated Gaelic spelling into Facebook,
Not
but
on-
it brought up this simple spelling.
Yeah, it did.
So they've
Yeah.
got like phonetic Irish on Facebook. They're working.
Oh, yeah.
They're working hard.
Do you know where Cleana lives now? Do you know where she lives now?
Probably still in the same place, but I genuinely do not know. Let me see if I can find her.
Yeah, because I got
but
two
anyway,
that
the
came
school.
up.
I'll
One's
keep
in
telling the story
Birmingham,
while
so we
we're
can
finding.
get that bitch.
Yeah, we can.
No,
definitely
I
get
don't
this
think she'll
right.
be in Birmingham. Maybe she is. I don't know.
I think
We got done by 5 Minute Crafts. That's who did it.
What?
It was 5 Minute Crafts. They fucking blocked us.
That's so funny.
Our video got taken down off Facebook.
What?
Yep.
They're not
Facebook
on
and-
Facebook. This person they're not there.
I mean, I like that Ashley's story is just throwing out fucking guesses. She does look the type. I'm not gonna. So actually, no, we could probably ship her bloody pencils. Let me say this, and it is truly there is nothing greater to reflect on than schools' responses to bullying, because we still have not gotten the school response to you being bullied, which I would like very much. Because I know what the back half of this show is going to be. It's just us telling times schools have failed us, and oh, do I have some great ones. Let's talk about the sexual experience I had after this. Go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, I found one of the other girls though. She looks exactly the same.
Post the link in the private chat.
I'll post the link. I'll post the link.
Do it right now so we can look at it in real time.
Do any of these girls that bullied you have my favorite Irish look, which is you look at them and you go, at some point they're going to make a joke about how inbred their family is, and I'm going to have to pretend to laugh, but it is.
That's
visible.
exactly what this person is.
Oh, it's exactly what I wanted from everything. Oh, yeah.
So for the podcast listeners, they're looking at Michelle. But let me see if I can find the other person. But yeah, anyway, so they just picked this one girl, Cleena, and I don't know why it was her out of all of them. It was her and Michelle were kind of the two ringleaders, but they just went with her, and they brought.
I think I found Cleena.
But a very kind of old biddy woman who didn't know how to do her job that much. She was lovely. If you were upset and ill or something and she just talked to you one-on-one, she'd be fine. But oh my god, is she married and changed her name?
And her name got more Irish.
No, that's not her. That's not her.
Damn it.
I'll find her.
She looks like a ghost. This girl that you posted, John. She looks like full ghost.
That's why I was like, oh
She's
my
been
god,
dead for 200 years.
Yeah. By the way, the person that Ashley did show us, really delivered, just looking like an absolute fucking bog warrior.
I love Ashley is knee deep in Cleona's right now.
Oh my god, Ashley is. I gotta say,
she's not. She's not on Facebook because she's not in that person's friends, and if she's on Facebook, she's not there. So I think she's not on it. Anyway,
once you're done,
my year had this video lady brings us into a tiny little. We had this tiny little chaplaincy room, and it was basically like a cupboard under the stairs. And we were brought in there, me and this girl, Cleena, and she just basically said, "Now, Ashley, Cleena is going to apologize to you for what happened." And to be honest, I don't even think they fully addressed what happened. And this girl just says, "Sorry, Ashley," without even looking at me, and that's the end of it.
Now, don't you feel better? No,
But like, it was so uncomfortable. I just had to sit in this room and let her apologize to me. I was so uncomfortable.
The worst.
It was awful.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Flowing.
That was it. There was no punishment. There was nothing.
Nothing. Not even detention. Nothing.
No.
Wild.
Nothing.
Flowing Mullet came in. I got bullied at school, and the school's response was to sack the student support teacher, the one person trained to help me.
That sounds about right.
The horse has fired the horse catcher. Boom Stickery says, I was a teaching assistant. That gave me a lot of opportunities to stop bullying off the books. Boom Stickery beat up a child.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's
exactly what just happened in that story.
I mean,
again, I'm going down a hole of like old Facebook people that I went to school with.
Oh, I love doing it because let me tell you, Ashley, Ashley, look at me. Am I looking the right
Wrong
way?
way, John.
I'm
Wrong
not.
way.
It's all right. Ashley, look at me.
Uh-huh.
It is so good looking at everyone who was a piece of shit to me in high school because they have all really suffered. One girl, and I'll never forget this, when I was 15, turned to me and she said, "You don't matter and no one likes you." And she lost both of her parents in a horrific car accident. It makes me actively feel better. It makes me fine. I'm fine with it. Totally fine. Totally fine with it. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
That woman was like literally, I went to school with her from when I was 4 to when I was 17. And she was, and I mean it from like the base meanest definition, a cunt from 4 to 17. Do you know how much of an asshole you have to be to maintain C-word level for 13 years? To my mom, who is in the chat, yes, I will tell you who that student was when the show is done. I won't actually. I also don't know if it was both parents, but I know they lost one parent, and it was when we were like in the last year of high school, and I remember being like, "Good, that adult is away from you, you awful, awful woman."
There was that group of girls that bullied me, but they were kind of shit to me from when I went into school. Like, I never got along with them. The worst experience was the ones that I became friends with, who then like turned shit around on me and like made my life hell for 3 years. And basically what fundamentally the problem was is that I was in primary school by myself. I've mentioned this before. I was the only kid in my year in primary school. I was exceptionally lonely.
Oh my god.
The kids above and below me were all boys. I was desperate for girlfriends at this time. Not that I didn't get along with the guys, but it just at that age and the gender politics of the early noughties, it's just whatever. And I then went into secondary school. I was also very unwell. I was on stupid amounts of medication. I have a documentary on Netflix saved at the moment that I need to watch.
Is it about you?
No, it's not about me, but it's a whole series of legal cases. And one of them is where somebody uses the medication that I was on as a legal defense for what they did. That's how fucking batshit crazy it makes you.
Wow.
And I was on it for 9 years. You're only ever supposed to be on it for 18 months.
Jesus.
I was on it for fucking 9 years. Anyway, I was going crazy. But I became friends with a group of people. There were twins. Evil twins.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a couple of other people who just turned out to be arseholes. One of them who claimed that I broke her up with her boyfriend so that I could become his new girlfriend, which was not what happened. But let's not get into it.
I mean, I want to get into it, but we won't.
I also want to get into it. I want that
Also,
mess.
I mean, we can circle back around. I kind of want to get onto the twins. The twins were horrific. The twins made and one of them, I'm going to type her name in the chat. I don't want to say their names just because it's too identifiable. Because one of them has a fairly normal name. The other one
Is one of their names Jed, and the other one's
has a name
Ward?
that should be normal, but they just like her mother just gave her the stupidest spelling of this name.
Yeah.
And it's but the way I've typed it is how it's spelled.
Was it Russian band Tattoo? Oh God, that's so
How fucking shit is that?
Boy,
I want to go back in time and drop kick this mother in her pregnant stomach for
I
how
know,
badly one of
right?
these names is spelled. Like, and I'm sorry, I
It's-
know that's a graphic, but I literally want to I want to touch my feet in the air and sail towards this will be better in the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like this person, every conversation was it's this pronunciation, this is the spelling, this is my name. It's not the normal version. Anyway.
Interesting thing on Facebook. Found a few of them, all black.
No, that's mad. This is them. I'll drop the real person in the chat.
That's right, Boom Snickery. I want a Liu Kang time travel abortion kicker. That's what I want to do.
These two girls, they
Look at this fucking swamp donkey. You mucky Irish-headed fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like someone shaved Jerry Adams and gave them highlights. Or hires me. Oh, fucking yucky pucky.
yeah.
That looks. That's
They
the
were
kind of
so fake is the only way I can describe them. So fake, but really made me think I was their friend. And it was only after the 3 years and I look back and I realized the shit they put me through. At one point they made me be somebody's girlfriend for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And like I didn't even
I
talk to this person. There was so much pressure around it. And then they made me break up with them by text because we were going to a teenage disco. And they wanted me to go and shift somebody.
Shift? What is shift? Does
Thank
that
you,
mean
thank you,
bang?
thank you.
Does that mean
hang on.
Shift
are
is like
you gonna shift his kidneys? You gonna
no. Shifting is like kissing.
okay,
No, it's
because
not.
it's work.
No, it's not.
Why?
No, it's just
Hmm.
shift. It's just when you shift my mate. Like
shit. Get in there.
It's this sort of behavior is why Ireland doesn't get the respect it deserves. That's what. Yeah, this is the
it's
thing.
shifting. It's great. I would still say shift casually, probably.
I'm sure you would.
The one
I
that was really popular
Just
at the
did.
time of the teenage discos was actually meeting. Will you meet my friend? Was like
How you
the turn of
spelling
phrase
meat?
we were using. However, that one has slowly disappeared because it sounds horrific. But
And
shifting
it's-
is still standing strong.
And it's so confusing because you can go meet your dad, but if you end up doing,
Yeah, I think that's probably why it died out.
I like
coming in-
winching.
Winching.
Coming in
like
from
this.
Ashley's story in Scotland, it's winching.
'Cause I
Coming
don't
in
know
from Tiger
what it
Tiger,
means.
they trafficked you, and coming in from Kirsten, what a time!
They basically
it would
trafficked
be
me.
to have access to the private chat. Yeah, you were basically trafficked. They were
I
Ghislaine
basically was.
Maxwell, and you were
Victoria
They
Giuffre.
really treated me
Yeah,
so
Victoria
badly, especially when
Giuffre.
it came to boys. They made me like kiss a boy in front of the whole school on a bus. They were probably some of the people that were doing the whole skirting thing in front of boys that I liked and stuff.
The skirting
Wait a minute.
thing?
Wait a minute, you got sharked? What the fuck are you talking about? You never
Skirting.
No. I figured out what it is, but that in 30 Rock is called sharking, and it's something that Tracy Morgan thinks is done in Japan, which is not actually true. Now let's go back to it. what is the skirting thing? And everyone set
Well,
your faces.
The skirting
minds,
thing wasn't
souls.
just me. It was a thing that was going around the school at the time because the lads were getting pantsed, which I'm sure you did. You must have done.
I pantsed
Pulling
so
down
many
a
kids.
pal's pants. Yeah.
I pants kids all the time. That's
Yeah.
one time where
pantsing
not dealing
people.
with bullies really worked out for me.
Yeah.
I pulled a kid's pants down, and the teacher was, "Oh, welcome to the Troggies, cometh Lord 69."
Cometh Lord.
Dope name. Feels like it could really go either way.
Really could.
Yeah, I pants this kid. His name was Matthias, and just felt like it. And there was a monitor, like an old woman who hangs out in our school at lunchtime for some reason, even though none of us are her kids. And she was just right there. I just did it while he was talking to her. And he had Jurassic Park underwear on. And
did his underwear stay up?
Underwear stayed up.
Okay.
And so everyone sang the Weird Al Jurassic Park song to him for about a year. And when we went into the vice principal's office, she was like, "Chris, I feel like you didn't mean for the pants to come all the way down." And I was like, "You're absolutely right. It was a total. I don't know how that happened. I just want to give him a little tug. You know me, just like to tug on pants with no ulterior motives." And I got off scot-free. They gave me nothing.
Oh my god!
Oh, fuck you! Oh,
fuck you, Chris.
Yeah.
Bye, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Chris was
Bye-bye,
definitely the bully in his school.
Yeah.
So skirting was it was when girls would run around and they would do the opposite. They'd pull your skirt up. But they would time it so well because women were evil.
We're gonna go up to Ashley's story in the chat in a second, and it is
Diamond, I crushed. I did read the room. I fucking crushed.
Yeah.
The laugh I got.
Yeah, so that
let's
was
read-
happening as well.
I want you all to read Ashley's stories. Did you guys see Ashley's stories comment in the chat? I'll bring it up. It is a fucking David Lynch film.
I had a best friend, like she came on family holiday with me. She bought me a best friend necklace, and when I wore it to school, she told everyone I bought it for myself and never spoke to me again. Holy shit!
Holy fuck!
Ashley, what's her name?
Yeah,
what's her
Ashley.
fucking name? You can do this publicly or privately. That is on you, but we need that name. We need to Facebook stalk the shit out of that person.
Oh my god, that's
that's
so
brutal.
wild.
That is so horrible.
I couldn't pay attention to everything that was happening because all I was thinking about that psychopath. When I was at school, those joggers with the poppers right up the leg were all the rage. The boys would always try and rip them open. We learned quickly to wear shorts under the. Oh,
yeah.
I remember this happened.
It happened to boys as well. We all learned to wear shorts under ours.
There was, I remember the last day of grade 8, there was a girl wearing those, and one of the tougher.
We believe you, Ashley.
Yeah.
We believe you.
I 100% believe you. Speaking of those tearaway pants, I remember a girl was wearing them, and on the last day of grade 7 or 8, one of the big mean bully girls went to like rip it off, and as it was like coming off, she went, "I'm not wearing any underwear," and everyone just froze and stopped and like stopped, like and then it was like, "Oh, we've gone too far. We've gone too far," and she like flipped it back up, and it was like. Like it was the weirdest moment because no one is worse than 13-year-olds, but it was like we all were like, well, that's too far.
Yeah, there's
That
a
would
line.
be
Come on,
awful.
guys.
Yeah, that would be too much.
I had them do it in front of the boy I liked at the time. And
You had like you asked them to
no,
do it?
they did it. They did it in
okay.
front of. I had that happen to me.
I still feel like you. Here's the thing, though. I still feel like you could probably make that work.
Oh,
but I feel like it'd be like 10 years later.
I
and you
did
just-
kiss him 2 years later.
Yeah, you fucking did. I knew you fucking did.
2 years
You-
later, maybe 3 years later.
And was he like, you still got the paisley panties there?
Paisley panties. I was 14.
Oh, you didn't say how old you were.
Do you understand how little? I won't speak for Chris, but listen. I want you all to know this.
You don't know anything about 14-year-old panties.
I don't know anything
Good.
about any woman's underwear in any description. I have no idea.
Except for what I've told you about mine.
I know that you don't fit in all underwear, and that's just the thing I think about every day. That's on my list of just living my life, drinking coffee, writing jokes, being a businessman, or whatever the fuck I do in the day. And just almost every day, it'll just be like, just remember, you are friends with and own a third of a very shitty business with someone who can't fit in all underwear. That's just something I just exist with
all the time. It's still so funny to me. So funny to me.
Coming in from Steven CGR, my school took it very seriously. A bully pants me right in the middle of the gym hall. The teacher asked me, do you want to tell to take this further? I said, no, I just want to leave it. But I know if I did escalate, the bully would have gotten into way more trouble than the punny he got. I mean, shortening punishment for punny, I do enjoy. Coming from Nina, I had lots of walking difficulties growing up, now diagnosed and proudly disabled. Someone from my close circle wrote my phone number on the local bus stop saying, call this number for oh, fuck.
Ugh.
No, that's horrible.
I don't even know what it means. It's gross. I don't like that. A bunch of
That's so horrible. Oh no.
Did we have any bullies? We had one kid who was a bully who just disappeared one day. He was just gone. Like, we had him in school. His name was Nigel. He's the kid that I put my knee through his head when I did that one when I was like 7. We ended up going to the same school, and he blew up a computer. We're not sure how, but one of the computers was just gone. And the story was that he blew up a computer, and then we never saw Nigel again. So
he hacked a computer, and the CIA recruited him.
No, here's the story. That guy didn't exist. Chris broke the computer, blamed it on someone named Nigel, and they're just like, let's just let this bully fuck live his life.
He was Ginger. It was easy.
I remember when I was 9.
He was Ginger. It was easy. Chris, you're such a bully. No, he's so mean.
No, not Team Chris.
Chris is really like being a bad guy today.
So this was before things like learning disabilities were treated. So in my school, there was this like special ed or whatever it is. And there are a lot of kids in Canada called Nigel. Weirdly, it's very odd. All of them, by the way, shitheads.
Yeah, all dicks.
He was
a real.
You call your child Nigel, you've got plans for that kid.
Yeah. You
and
think
that kid
you're
is not going to enjoy those plans, and he's going to turn into an asshole.
Exactly. So I was 9, and this kid. So we had special ed, and that was like, bear in mind, like special ed was both like kids who were diagnosed like schizophrenic at 3 and kept trying to burn the school down. Oh, Nigel is the name Chris calls himself when he's pulling down the pants of 12-year-olds. Anyway, so one of the kids in that class was crazy. Like, he decided he didn't go to school after 1 p.m. So he just stayed on the play structure all afternoon. And all of the like adults at the school were just like, yep, that's fine. That's fine. You just do whatever you do.
Oh, wow.
Whatever. And then one day when we were 9, I went home for lunch this day, but I came back. Bear in mind, I'm 9. It's an elementary school preschool shooting. So it was crazy. There were police cars at the school. And what happened is this kid got up from lunch, attacked one of the old lady cafeteria monitors, ran to the computer lab and broke all the computers. And they couldn't control him to the point they called the police on a 10-year-old. And he was never heard from again. And how this was confirmed was, my grade 4 teacher was a woman named Miss Stopar, very bad at dealing with children. Because some kid was talking that afternoon. A person passing our house just yelled, "Nido, what is happening?"
That's so weird. I hate when the world does that. It's like when you're thinking about somebody and then they call you.
I mean,
Nigel?
Yeah. Nigel? And I remember that afternoon, my grade 4 teacher, because a kid was talking, she just went, "If there's any more interruptions, we're going to get the police back here and then we'll see what happens." And I remember that was the day I was just like, oh, I'm more calm than an adult. And I'm 9. Action runs away
did we
from
have the police at our school at any point?
Oh, the police were at my high school so often because the amount of different kids that were making money dealing drugs. I was late once, and I pulled up with my mom was dropping me off at school because we were running late, and it's like I remember she went like, "Oh, the school looks weird," and then there was a bunch of stuff started falling out of the windows, and then I saw the drug dog walking in from like a side, and I was like, "Oh, it's in a lockdown," and everyone was just throwing their drugs out. Oh, it was great. I remember a friend of mine had a brick pound of weed in his bag. Another time, it was like the amount of drugs. Like my mom is watching it. It was like the big joke of the high school I went to, Nepean High School in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, is because it is a school that's a public school, but it's where all the diplomats kids go, and then just regular kids, and all the regular kids figure out, oh, if I just get some pot, I could sell it to the son of Canada's head of defense, for example, was one guy that a friend of mine who sold so much weed to that guy. That, by the way, that guy showed up to graduation, white denim jacket, no shirt, circular glasses. And I remember we were walking in, and I went, "Are your parents here?" And he went, "Nah." And I was like, "You're cool."
That checks out. That checks out.
So,
Yeah.
Oh my God, so many. Yeah, so funny.
Jesus. By the way, David Hort, this is canon now. Nigels are to Troggies what Decepticons are to Autobots.
Fair. Good. Yeah. What are you, a bunch of
Are you a Troggy or a Nigel?
Hey, Bex, what's going on? Good to see you.
Hello. I don't think the police ever really came. If they did, it would have been vandalism. Or I know that kids in school got into trouble with the police outside of school, but I don't ever remember them coming into school. So yeah, it would have been vandalism. And then the ones outside of school, it was always usually to do with cars. Either they were in accidents or they were speeding or they were racing or whatever.
Oh my God.
We had him once, and it was to lead a teacher out because he'd been caught looking at child porn on his
You did mention this before.
Yeah, and they let him out at lunchtime.
At the school computer, you fucking moron.
Yeah.
Through the cafeteria?
I mean, it was in 2001. So
Still.
none of us knew about computers. Like we didn't know that you could be tracked on things. We didn't know that any of was that.
Right.
So he was a fucking maniac. And the way that the cops let him
opposite. This is like the opposite.
We're always coming to our school for perverts wanking through our school fence onto the students. Jesus Christ, Ashley, where did you grow up?
Glasgow.
Glasgow. Yeah.
Yeah.
How close were the students standing to the fence?
That's awful. I remember hearing a story from somebody in Ireland that they were walking to school one day, and actually, I don't think this is from somebody. This was like a thing that just happened in the 90s. Was like young girls walking to school just getting flashed by old men. But that was just a really regular thing that happened.
No, take that down. Take that down.
Oh no, Kirsten, stop it. No, I'll always regret saying that. That's the one thing I've said on this show that I'm like, probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh well, we're very different because as soon as the show ends every day, I go through everything that's happened, and there's like
no,
things where I'm just
I
like,
do that
why
too.
the
But
fuck
of
did we
all of
go?
them, that's the one that I land on that I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
And that's why we'll never forget it. It was perfect. It was so funny. Who's Trisha Paytas?
Yeah, who
Paytas?
is Trisha Paytas?
I have no idea who that is.
That is a reference that's going over our head, Ash.
Now and again, we get a reminder to not talk to any adults walking through the public path in our grounds. There was no fence, but plenty of creeps who just happened to be walking through at lunchtime, being very, very slow walking, looking at the young girls.
Ooh.
I do remember, and I'm old enough that actually you are probably too young for this because society finally put an end to this. But I always remember in high school all of the old dudes who were waiting for their girlfriends. And I'm talking like 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds. I remember one 27-year-old who was dating a maybe she was 16 at that time, and he, as she walked out, yelled, "Ooh, there's shaved pussy," and I was so disgusted, and a friend of mine who was next to me just went, "Fuck you, man."
Oh, that's
it was
awful. awful.
It was awful. Like he was.
No, I don't like that.
She was a YouTuber who told the exact same story as Bets.
No,
All
she's
of it.
American. I just looked her up. It's not her.
Oh God, I'm now picturing that whole scene. Nina, when I was 13, a random man came up to me in the street and told me I had great blowjob lift. There's a there's a shaved pussy for a level hype train. Oh God.
No.
Oh, you know what's there's even a
I-
sad. Would you like the sad part of that whole thing? By the way, would you like the really sad part of that whole thing? That girl got pregnant at I think 18.
No.
But I think is actually doing okay. Like it was one of those things where I got the story like.
Well,
years
I mean,
later.
getting pregnant isn't the end of the world. It's not, you know.
Oh, it
that
is
was-
in Canada actually. It is.
Well, that's
you are
the rhetoric.
Not allowed medical patient. Bringing us back to the.
You're not allowed?
Yeah, it's a weird country.
Yeah.
If you're
You
under
gotta
the
do
age of 18,
whatever your GED thing is.
if you're under the age of 18, because they're trying to prevent teen pregnancy, they're like you don't get the same level of checkups. It's a drain on our system.
That's not going to prevent. That's
true.
Shit,
that's why I made it. That's why I made the whole.
Oh, I'm
fucking thing
angry.
up. I made it all
I'm
up.
so
I made it all up.
angry.
It's so illegal. You can't do that.
I'm so angry at you.
And that is payback for Christmas, ladies.
Oh. Goodbye. That's ridiculous. Ugh. I don't care whether it's shaved or not. I want to know if that pussy is juicy. Because consent.
You can.
Oh no. I mean, I listened to a podcast over Christmas. It's the Murder Most Irish podcast, which if you haven't listened to it, if you're interested in murder at all, if you like true crime, it's really fun because look at that. Juicy Pussy has just subscribed.
I don't know which one of you fucking geniuses did this, but
we love you for it. Yeah.
Very much approve.
Murder Most Irish podcast, for a podcast that is for two women that are not comedians. I fucking laugh my ass off listening to this podcast. It's so funny. But they were talking about like puberty. I think actually what it was this episode was at the time that there was a Tampax advert in Ireland that got 80 odd complaints to RTE because it used the phrase "get it up there" as like basically part of the tampon ad was like trying to show you how to put it in. And like, as somebody who has tried to use tampons, they're really fucking hard to learn how to use.
Hey, you're just gonna
so
get it up.
difficult. But because you never realize that you have to get it so far up, like you always don't put it in very far, and then you end up sitting on it, and it's so sore, so painful. But part of this ad was like trying to help girls realize how they needed to put it in. But they tried to make it kind of fun, and they just had this, which is really cringe, but they had this phrase which was "get it up there," and they were saying how inappropriate it was, and RTE took down the advert because of 80 odd complaints that said it was inappropriate. And basically it's awful. But it led to these two women on this podcast talking about how much they hated everything that was becoming a woman. And honestly, I nearly started crying even though they were being funny about it, because it just resonated so much with my experience as well, which is that thing of like when your body starts changing, it just becomes, you're so self-conscious of it because you just become aware that people now look at your body whether you want them to or not. It's so like you just become so aware of the shape of it, and what it does, and like what those things mean as well. And you have such a crisis picking out clothes. I was watching the new series of Queer Eye today, which I just I love it so much. But I'm halfway through the second episode of the new series, which is about Angel, who's a trans woman. and she's talking about how she just doesn't know how to highlight the different parts of her body. She doesn't know how to dress. And I was just like, fucking, like, but the thing that she keeps saying is that she doesn't feel feminine in it, and she doesn't know how to. And I was just like, that is the biggest part of being a woman, is like all of that feeling, because none of us feel like our body is right anyway, because that's what society does. Like, that's just what is just so, like, you just learn that from such a young age, that everything about you is wrong regardless of what you do. So it just, it was just getting me so hard. And I was just like, every single one of us has this feeling. None of us can go into a clothes shop without having a panic attack. Like, it is insane.
I cried
Queer Eye
5 minutes
still-
into the first episode.
Is Queer Eye still
so quickly.
No.
straight guys being dressed by gay guys?
What is
No.
this? The
Oh my god,
90s?
Chris, you have to go and watch Queer Eye.
I've never watched. I haven't watched a second of Queer Eye in my
It's-
life, but I remember
okay,
when
you
it
know-
came out, and that
No,
was
no,
the
no, no, no,
that was the
no,
thing.
No. It's not. The
It's a
same.
different
It's
thing.
not. Okay, so there's.
Okay.
It's so
Queer-
wholesome.
So there's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which was 5 child, like it was like at the time a very progressive show, but it just shows how
Yeah.
far we've come, because
Yeah.
it was literally like the only way you can stomach these men kissing men is if they are
Correct.
super loud and weirdly intense.
Yeah.
They're amazing. By the way, one of those people has seen me do comedy because I paid him on Cameo to give me a shout out for America's Got Talent. Not the current cast, Carson Crestwell of the original.
Not the
Sounds
current
like
cast, I
Ashley.
don't care.
Yes, the first version was about tolerance.
Oh.
The new one is about acceptance. Very
That's
well
nice.
put.
That's
But
nice.
it's everybody. It's everybody
Oh.
gets accepted. And I saw somebody tweet today that I haven't seen this episode, but apparently in one of the episodes, Karamo completely redefines what coming out is. He's like, I don't call it coming out anymore because that puts the onus, like it means that other people then have to accept that. Whereas if he says he refers to it now as letting people in. You're like letting people. Oh,
Nice. I like
I
that.
love
mean,
it so much.
Maybe this is the season Karamo finally defines what he actually does for the subjects, because everyone else is a very defined.
No.
But I
He's
find-
he's the therapist.
every
Tato
third-
waffles for me all over.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Are you a
okay,
Karamo hater?
I'm a Karamo hater. I would like Karamo to step it up. All right.
No, Karamo does so much.
Yeah. You
Karamo does so much. However,
You-
my favorite is Anthony.
bolsters the soul. You
I feel like I'm.
dog.
I feel like I'm pro
Karamo
Karamo.
is
Just
the Chris.
based on vibes.
Oh,
Vibes.
based on vibes.
Karamo's the vibes.
Let me, but
No,
Ashley, let me
this
ask
is
you-
nailed it. This has been
By the way,
nailed.
no,
Karamo
I'm-
is the vibes.
But let me
John?
tell you what would be the better
John.
show. If it was the same Queer Eye, you remove Karamo, you put Chris in there, that show's 10 times better. Because you've got all the energy.
Nah, just he's a Karamo hater, and I'm not having it.
He's no one's favorite.
No.
Thank you.
I love Anthony. I love him so much.
I mean,
I love him even more since I realized that he looks exactly like Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Oh, he really does? He really does.
Can't unsee it. Can't unsee it.
Is Anthony the construction
The
one?
chef.
He's the chef. Okay, this is Carl Donnelly's joke, but it's the greatest point ever. Is that Anthony is the smartest one because literally one of them has to build a house in a week. The other one has
Oh,
to.
Bobby is so underappreciated.
Yeah,
like
Bobby's
he's
literally like you. Everyone else, everyone else, they go and they're like relaxed in their area, and Bobby's like sweating with a clipboard, being like, "Yeah, I don't have fucking time for your TV show."
Yeah.
And then fucking Anthony's just in this very nice kitchen, and every episode you're making guacamole. I guarantee
every episode he's making
He's
guacamole, but
handsome,
I love it
everything's
so
guacamole.
much.
Everyone,
I love him.
that Tan is the
Okay,
best.
you
one.
just said Tan is fabulous. I will
Oh.
not argue about Tan. Like,
God Bobby was so good on the glass blowing show.
What
I
a
haven't
great
seen
sentence.
I haven't seen it. But Chris, Chris, you are living in a hostel with a
I
shared
guarantee
bathroom.
you, Chris watches
Put-
one episode of Queer
Chris,
Eye.
So funny.
Chris, look at
I've been
me right
watching
now.
Mad Men, which I think is the opposite.
You're not
the opposite of
what are
Queer
you
Eye.
fucking doing?
I guarantee Chris watches an episode of Queer Eye and then watches all of the episode of
Chris,
Queer
yeah.
Eye. Like you're gonna get so sucked in. You're gonna
Maybe
love
I've
it.
never
And
watched
I-
any reality
I'm-
shows. So
It is, but it's
It's
it's-
not a reality show though.
it is.
It's so whole. I mean, it is, but it's so wholesome. I love it.
Ashley,
You either get really hooked or you never watch another episode.
I cannot wait to start this podcast because we are so macro aligned, so micro totally disagree on everything, which is the best type of conversation. Because Tan doesn't just tuck his shirt in; he created the French tuck.
He does a French tuck.
and then he didn't call it the Tan tuck; called it the French tuck.
He called it the French tuck.
Yeah, exactly. If Tom
It's
Tuck invented, he would have
amazing.
called it the Tom tuck, but not Tan. Tan went French tuck.
French tuck.
Sorry, I went away to look after my mom and came back to Bobby and glass blowing. Sounds rude. Coming in.
Bobby is excellent. I really like Bobby. Bobby and Anthony are probably my two favorites, but then I also I can't really keep going after that because they're all my favorites.
Also, Tan did not. Agree
He
to
didn't
disagree.
invent the French tuck. No, it is a thing.
Agree to disagree. I got news for you. No, none of the people.
Pretty
I know-
sure.
Also, by the way,
Pretty sure that Gokwan used to do it. I'm pretty sure that
don't know who-
Trini and Susanna used to do it as well.
know who that
I'm pretty sure the French tuck is a thing.
To be fair to Tom, the tuck would have been a bad name. A couple of things. First of all, and this is honest to God's honest truth, I don't know who Gokwan is. I just know the name because he was a punchline of comedians.
For
And
years.
whenever I hear it like the third time, I go, I refuse to learn who that is now. I am not learning who Gokwan.
Gokwan was basically Queer Eye in one man.
No, he wasn't. No one man can make you feel that much.
He was British Queer Eye.
There he is.
I mean, I got news for you. Gokwan does look like if you smash those five guys together. what
He
they
made
would look
fat
like.
women feel good naked and then started selling Chinese cookbooks. That's exactly what it is. I have his cookbook.
What
It's
goes
an
on
excellent cookbook.
with celebrity in Britain. Like that's exactly how it always is. It's like, well, he used to host a cooking show for small children, and now he makes millions making shirts for poodles. And you're like, what?
Gokwan's
I mean,
great.
I am not slagging off Tony Law's Gokwan joke. That is the only joke that's, by the way, the only joke you don't need to know the celebrity to find funny.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
you know the joke?
I haven't heard it in a long time, but I remember because I'm in the same spot with you with Gokwan, where I don't know anything about it, and I just heard his fucking name
See?
everywhere.
He is
And
Queer
his
Eye
was the
in
only
one
bit where I
man.
really got it.
Yeah, but I want all five. Yeah, Gokwan. No, Gok. You lost. God, listen, I'm so happy that Tony got his life together and he's like happy and pretty successful. But Tony Law 2012, when he was like 2012, 2013, where it wasn't chaos, but he was just like a whimsy nightmare, was so good. But whoo, then things changed.
Yeah. He went. He was a real,
There he is.
but then all of a sudden he was like,
Yes, he was. Yeah. Never been more. I knew exactly what you were doing. Accurate. Also, can you bring David Crosby's face back up again? Look how foldy his neck skin. There's so many different folds in his neck skin.
there's a tiny little face if you look just right. It looks like it has like a mustache right in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a little mustache there and a couple eyes and the skin fold sacks. Oh yeah, there's a face. There's a face in there.
I completely agree to everything you just
Looking at David Crosby's neck is like looking at the clouds. It's just whatever you want to see.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done our first show of 2022. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling good?
I feel great. This was a lot of fun. I really had a nice time tonight.
I don't know which day it is, but one of these days I'm going to have I think it might be Thursday. We'll have no responsibility. And then I think I'm doing a bong rip on the show and we're just going to see what happens. I may also do a show from my new bed because it's so comfy. It's so comfy. Foam Casper mattress. It's like sleeping on a cloud. That's hard.
Ooh.
A storm cloud.
Did you say Casper?
That's right.
You did it. It did it come delivered, rolled up like a rug?
It certainly did, and I accidentally paid for assembly, which I didn't know. I just thought that those they were really nice workmen. They just came in with the bed, and then I was just like, "Oh, thanks, guys," and they were like starting to set it up, and I was like, "Oh, like you don't like?" I thought like they were trying to, and I was like, "It's all good," and they're like, "No, you paid for this," and I was like, "Oh."
And then they did it, and they started to take off their shirts, and you were like, "Thanks, guys." They were like, "No, you paid for this."
Yeah. No. And I was like, and that I was not confused by. I was like, "No, I am aware I paid for this. This is how I." They call it christening the bed where I come from.
Because it's guys that look like me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We like to christen our cars where I'm from.
What do you do? Do you have
sex in them?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Who should we raid?
Also, Chris, don't watch Mad Men. Mad Men.
Yeah, stop watching Mad Men. Go watch Queer Eye.
You know what's kind of interesting about it is that with it, they have every single thing that has now been pointed out as like an endemic negative act by men.
Yeah,
whether it's like gaslighting or any of that shit.
I don't need to watch misogyny.
No, you don't have. I'm not saying watch it. I'm just saying it's very interesting that they included every single one, like every single one of them is in there, and I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. Like it reminds me of watching it as like because the guys that celebrate Mad Men, they remind me of like the guys that watch Scarface and don't seem to understand that he loses in the end and his life is a nightmare. Like you took all the wrong lessons from Mad Men. All the stories are female. It's not about the guys.
Oh yeah, no, I do understand that that's what Mad Men is. It is meant to be like showing women in the face of all that misogyny, but I just don't need to watch it.
Oh no, I'm not saying watch it. I just got it on in the background while I'm doing other things. But
I also want this to be known. If you're going to do that, at least be somewhat historically accurate. Because I'm sorry, no married mother of two is left by her husband and then marries a politician in the middle 60s. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that like my mom, I was raised by a single mom and there was stigma around being a solo divorced woman in the 80s and 90s. Like it was just so inaccurate and just so many other things. Also, I love John Hamm. I have never seen someone stop giving a fuck about being an actor more in my entire life than John Hamm. Season 3 of Mad Men, even season 2. Season 1, he is all over it. Season 2, he's just kind of like, "Hi, I'm Don Draper. Hello, I smoke this."
What did I watched John Hamm in something recently, and he was really good.
30 Rock.
It was no.
He is great in that.
Oh my god. What's my high school gym teacher doing here?
It was a relatively dark movie, I think.
Was it the
I
Town?
don't remember.
I feel like you'd really like The Town.
Oh yeah, he's in Good Omens.
He is. Who is he in Good Omens?
What did I watch him in recently?
Gabriel.
Yes, he is Gabriel in Good Omens.
There's also super sexy in it. I remember that too.
Well, he's John Hamm. He's a very attractive man.
Actually, you have seen all the different just see John Hamm's cock outline photos that are on the internet.
No.
Well, have yourself a little peek. Also, fun fact, I learned from someone who was doing a show with John Hamm, like a live show, which is you are not to bring up the fact he has a big penis. He is very, very not want to talk about it because apparently for like 3.5, 4 years, it's all anyone would talk about. And he just
really?
Well, it would be weird at a certain point that just every
I mean, don't make somebody uncomfortable.
But make me uncomfortable, John.
I do not remember what he was in.
The Hamath. That's great. That's great.
Shall we raid someone?
Yeah, who are we raiding?
think
We got a Toast
really
J, Paleontologizing, and My Gun is Huge. That's what I'm seeing.
Also, everyone in the chat, if you guys have streamers you'd like to recommend, please shoot them over to us. We want to follow more people. We want to be able to bring our audience cooler streamers and bring cool people to our show. So if there's anyone else you would recommend who wasn't in that list, if not, I'm going to go with My Gun is Huge.
Sure.
I love My Gun is Huge.
Yeah, let's do that for now. But yeah, drop us some recommendations.
Yeah. Raid messages. First raid of 2022.
tomorrow night we're gonna have a guest. That's gonna be fun.
Are you tell us who the guest is? Because you haven't even told Chris and I who the guests are. You don't have to tell them, but you can tell. Are you going to tell us?
Tomorrow night's guest is one of my good friends, Richie Sheehy. He's an Irish comedian. Some people might recognize him as the guy who wrote the Mo Salah song about Liverpool Football Club. That's what he's most known for. So
came to the wrong place with that
I met him over Christmas, walked down the street in Cork, and somebody started singing it at him. Like, he's so well known because of it.
Oh my god,
it's insane.
I forgot. I was literally about to bring this up. About there is nothing better about being in the UK than just the fact that Liverpool Football Club is either you love them or you're literally like no.
It's the same in Ireland.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm just
All
gonna
right.
go lie down for 10 minutes.
I'm going to start the raid. We've started.
Bye.
Here's an old lady talking about sex. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to see you. We love you. Bye.
That's all. Penis into her vagina. That's all.
I'm now going to tell Chris and Ashley the story I couldn't tell them before.
Some people call it having sex. So the man passes the sperm to the woman, and now his sperm is in her.